It's not.
No,
It
don't
clicked.
Doing
do
it
it.
now.
It's working,
No,
I think.
comment. What did you do?
I
That's
clicked
the
it.
wrong button.
I...
No.
Hello, everyone.
You
Welcome to...
doomed
You
us
caused
all.
me to type button. Damn it, comment.
Wow.
Whilst I was at work, I ended up using a receipt, and I have crammed so much information onto this receipt that I'm having to type it up so I can actually find it easier. And I was trying to type ring, and you said button, so my fingers typed out the word button, despite being completely different to the word ring.
Can't you?
I feel
Why did you-
accomplished.
Why did you
It's the
cram it
only
onto
time you
one
ever
piece of
will,
paper?
so don't get used to it.
Because
Hello,
I couldn't be bothered to print
Wow.
off another one, Jam, and I can lose things, so...
Isn't your
No, if it's
machine
all on
like
one,
one
I'm
where
not
you
gonna
can just
lose it.
press a button and it just comes out? And
Hello. Welcome to...
no,
Nice.
okay.
Alright,
Hello,
you do.
everyone.
No.
No.
Wait.
You know what would be a really good idea if we keep talking over the intro he's trying to do?
Sorry, Connor.
I mean, I'm not trying to do an intro at the moment, so, you know.
I think
Yeah.
she's talking about
What are you
comment.
Well, to be
talking
honest,
about?
Sub should probably do the one, because he's the bloody DM. But...
I
He's
haven't
typing.
realised.
Who's
Yeah,
the bloody
you-
bitchy DM?
Why does it keep unfollowing you?
Because it doesn't like you.
Don't comment, but okay.
Why do people keep correcting my notes?
I do.
They're shit notes, I know, but I'm trying.
I correct your notes.
Thank
The
you.
DM is giving you help.
Thank you. Read the letter
Oh,
again.
damn it,
Thanks.
my little note thing's outside, and I'm not going to go grab it. I'm comfortable.
Actually, thank you for correcting me because I made an error. I'll read the letter again.
It will...
Oh, I really want to do
Wessel.
one of these bullet journal things.
They require a lot of like concentration, focus, and understanding and
I
remembering.
know,
and
but
it's
it
a lot of
seems really
time.
fun.
On an off note, people may be noticing that we've had a bit of a style change. Before it was all blue, and now it's all nice and a bit ready. Sort of ready. It's ready for today. Oh! Yes.
Get out.
Why is it rainbow?
Jam whipped up the
Don't
new logo
quit your
for
day
us.
job.
I don't have one.
Lucky for some.
Here's his day job. Sorry.
This is
Sorry.
a good job.
That's
Don't worry,
suddenly
Nick.
where I plug my Patreon. Please help me survive. No. So yes.
Wait, you have a Patreon?
Well.
I was gonna say when was that?
does
thing?
now.
Such a bad friend.
Shh. No one.
I'm
No
such
one's
a terrible
supposed to
person.
know about it. It's a secret.
Oh. Wait,
It's
can we...
so
Why
secret,
even have
the
it?
internet knows it exists.
Why? Anyway,
Loud
I haven't finished.
noises.
I've
Loud
had it.
noises.
I've had it
That
for
was
God knows how long.
not-
I haven't finished setting it up yet.
That's
Oh, that's relatable, but you know.
But anyways,
I'm slightly self-conscious about actually releasing it. Never mind. Back onto my
Hey.
main point. Jam made the new logo for us.
Hell
The new
yeah.
logo. Really really
Yes.
cool. Really happy about it.
I made it in a day.
She made
She
she
messaged
made
me
it.
this morning.
She made it in a day. So that I told her I wanted it done. Like this is a thing I want when I went to sleep. I wake up and I've got that, and that's.
He was like,
pardon
"Hey,
my
I want
French,
to talk
but
when
that's
you're
fucking
available."
awesome.
I was like, I can talk now. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's all the notes which I need typed up. I swear to God, if you guys go off in a different direction than the ones I've planned, I am going to murder you all with a green dragon.
So we're gonna go visit Ball's hometown.
yeah.
You want to
Take
share your
that.
notes with me?
What notes?
No,
The
no,
notes you
this is
just
his
wrote.
dungeon.
You
no,
are
this is
so not
dungeon
getting my session notes.
Yeah.
It's 2 pages again.
You tried.
On a receipt?
It's okay, I only needed to see it for like a minute to read it all.
No,
You got fast of a reader? Holy crap.
I'm a very quick reader.
I used to
That
be
is
able to do
definitely
that.
something you would do, isn't it, Atlas? Go talk.
No, right, I need a different internet page open.
Maybe I
Kick 'em out of
should
here.
set it up in
That
such a
can
way so that people
close,
can
that
actually
can
see the stream chat, so
close.
that we know, so that they know what the hell we're actually going on. Should that be a
What are we
thing?
talking about? I don't know.
What?
Where you put stream chat in the stream.
Yeah, so that they can actually see
That's
us
the
I mean,
thing.
talking.
if you
Chat.
just recorded like if you just recorded your entire screen and popped the stream chat out and had it in the corner,
Yeah,
then
no,
it would
that
work.
wouldn't-
You'd probably end up obstructing something.
Do you even have two
You
monitors
watch
again, Comet?
Twitch on
No.
your Switch?
I don't. I do not have
That's
two
Comet,
monitors.
get two monitors!
It's absolute nightmare fuel. It hurts. It really hurts.
But Henry,
Get two monitors, Comet.
if I'm correct,
don't
you have the graphics tablet of my dreams, and I have a second monitor sat in my drawer. We should switch. Just saying.
Exchange.
Sorry,
God,
I love you, but not happening. I like this. Like, I can buy a second screen. And I've technically got 3 screens here. I've got my actual monitor, I've got an iPad, and then I've got my... So, you know, happy.
Question.
Use the CNT.
Just
CNT.
Why is there a really old Agnes at the bottom of the screen?
Because I put it there ages ago and you never saw it.
Well,
Which
that's
one?
because
Yeah.
I never go onto this home
Not so
screen.
much talking about viewing chat. I can view the chat just fine. I've got like all the windows for that, and I'm happy to sort of juggle them. But like,
Okay.
but it's a self-conscious thing of maybe having the chat up on the screen so that they know who we're talking to, so that they can see what we're responding to.
No, don't move him.
Speaking of Roll20, Purple,
Okay.
Yes.
apparently
Wait,
you're
when
not
did
in it.
Purple get here?
Purple got here a
Well
while
done.
ago.
I knew Purple got here, Sophie. Well done.
No.
I think we've already established today
Yeah,
that
switch
I'm
on
not
my phone.
doing
Yeah, that's better.
so
No, and for some
I do
reason it's
too.
decided that I'm not in that. For God's sake.
I feel like I'm being quite
Get
loud.
back in the right freaking campaign,
Everything's
Roll20.
breaking today.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using Streamlab Atlas.
Oh,
I have used I've used
Oh, shit.
a few
I just
in the
realised you can't hear the
past.
music.
I did use Stream Elements at one point, and I think that was just purely for a few features and what's the other thing? Like those cool overlays that you could see with the timers, and those were at most. Not so much. Yeah, there are modules, but it's just sort of like thinking about where I'm thinking about it on the fly. Where can I fit it
Are we
on
on
the
the other map?
screen? Should I fit it on
I think
the
we
screen?
were on the other map.
So many choices to make, so little time.
Yeah, we were on the other map, weren't we?
Oh,
Yeah.
mute the music bot. There we go.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we were on this map because we just finished with the cave.
I think we just finished sleeping.
Did we take a rest? That thing we did?
Yeah.
Well, if
A
you
long
let me-
rest.
If you let me find the right tab, because I have too many of them.
So you need another.
I know
monitor.
subs pain.
I need another monitor. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tabs open on one screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tabs open on another.
You complain like it's our fault.
No, yes.
We...
Okay, music, you can go down there.
You need to print stuff
Yeah,
out and like stick it around the place.
I'm
have
I'm
things printed out,
self-conscious about
speaking
of
putting
which.
it over the like
Why?
Roll20 chat.
You could put
Then
it
you
over
can
like
see
half
your
of it.
Oh,
rules.
Like
Probably
Yeah, like on the top
screen.
half.
The
Yeah.
top half, like with the
Yeah, just the
chat.
top part.
Yeah. Alright, I'll... Yeah, screw it.
Okay. Have fun fighting with that.
Do it semi-live. Oh, sub.
I mean, whilst he sorts his desk out. I've just realised I've run out of space. It's full of crap again.
Well done.
Oh no.
Do we have any other announcements? We've got a hashtag. And just started a
Woo!
hashtag.
Which has been used like 3 times.
Yeah, which used 3 times. One of which was
Twice
just...
of which were you guys going, what the hell is this?
We gotta put art in the hashtag.
That was...
Oh my God,
Ninja,
yes.
I hope you understood. That was purely sarcasm. On my part. Like, not understanding.
Dude, I just got off work when I was tagged in it, so I was like, I'm going to just have fun with this.
I was watching it like, what the fuck is going on here?
I think this is the hashtag, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Or was it dummies and dice?
dummies and dice at the end.
Dummies.
Oh, with the end. Okay. Yeah.
Because-
Go check that
The end,
hashtag
yeah.
out for me and Comet's fun conversation.
Yeah, and then you can use it for other things. Where...
Totally, yeah.
You realised that when you were you put the stream up on Twitter, you did the hashtag wrong, right?
Really?
Want to hashtag it again there, Comet, whilst I do the intro?
How?
You
Did it wrong?
put a space between the hashtag and the dummies and dice.
You did as well. I can see it.
I wondered why it didn't appear in the hashtag. Oh,
Okay.
Anyway, whilst Comet rectifies his mistake...
no, I can't be bothered. It's up there. It's up there. I'm not.
We return to our heroes as they wake from another night's rest and recovery from battle. The effects of the battle still cling to some of our number as they awake, coughing and spluttering. Whatever it was that they fought seems to have infected them, some more so than others. After having killed the remaining slavers, they plundered and scavenged the mine. A few notes were found, revealing some obscure information, which one person may have misunderstood. However, much mystery still remains. The party now needs to decide on how they're going to proceed. Do they follow the tracks leading away from the deserted village, or do they head back to Neverwinter to proceed along the coastal road? We shall find out
And
in this episode of Dummies and Dice.
No, Atlas, no.
Sorry for interrupting, Tom. Atlas, when you say things like that, it makes me not want to put it up on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What did you say?
otherwise
I
you're
didn't
gonna have to
see.
go through and blur it all, or just change it, post.
Or we
God, if I have to go
This
in,
is-
Post change it, just change it to something
Public
else.
stream.
oh, if I have to
Public
go and
stream.
edit these things, I would die.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
Oh.
Yeah, YouTube's not that smart. It just reports anyone. Yeah.
YouTube's
Yeah.
not that smart. It just doesn't advertise on any videos anymore.
Yeah.
Oh no, it does.
I'm not
Just
surprised
the
if I
ones that
killed the
didn't begin.
YouTube channel at this point.
It's just like, oh yes, we won't advertise on racist or homophobic videos.
But we will advertise with racist and homophobic ads.
Woo! Wait,
Uh,
nice
boy.
one, YouTube.
So, who is still sick? Is it just Boar and Arsene?
Me.
Indeed, since Agnes saved from it.
Mm-hmm.
Arsene wants to die more than usual. It's great.
It's fine, Agnes will look after them.
Uh,
Oh, shit.
it's met with confusion. Okay, I'm done.
So,
Alice, and you're both currently suffering a. You're both currently suffering a loss of 8 to your maximum hit points.
Oh, look, we are, aren't we? Oh yeah, I tried to do that in D&D Beyond, but it broke it.
No, it's fine. I just remember it, and if you get into combat, you can do something with it.
Okay.
So,
I can remember
The
that.
morning is fresh. The sun is beginning to rise. You guys camped outside the mine. There's a slight dew on the ground. What do you do?
Navagal starts practicing her bagpipes.
We need to get
All
rid of
right.
that body, don't we?
Those who weren't awake are now even more awake.
I mean, if they weren't awake, surely they can only get more awake.
Shh. Don't question his DM or he'll kill us.
I said that, didn't I?
We don't know.
Let's just move on.
I feel like we need another hashtag. Hashtag who's the real dummy?
No, it's
Anyway,
arguing.
moving on.
I
So
think this is
now-
too big for us to deal with overall. If this is a big thing that's been going on for quite a while, don't think the four of us could take them out.
We should probably at
five,
least
five
like
of you.
report to the authorities with this letter that we got.
I do say we should probably go deeper into the cave and see if
Well-
there's anyone down there.
Didn't we?
There were some other caves, weren't there?
Well,
Oh, next to
the
it.
one farther down. Is it there farther down the cave? I don't remember.
No, the mine you were in does not go any further down. However, there are still a few other abandoned mines around in this area.
Okay. What did he say? Hold on.
No, for God's sake.
Leaning forward.
Oh, fuck it, I'm putting my old glasses back on.
But
Is that the ones that are
options
falling
are-
apart and like missing a screw?
No, I got new glasses.
You said your
Go
old
get 'em.
ones though.
I got new glasses. Their lenses are like twice the length, which is really bloody annoying because I can't look underneath the lenses anymore.
Oh wait, so now you
I
have two
think
pairs
that's
of
the
glasses?
point of glasses.
Oh god, no! I got like, I've got like 6 now.
Oh. Hey, that's double the amount I have.
I was going to say, I've had 3 pairs of glasses in my life.
Right.
Can't do
Our
voices right
options
now.
are either to continue
Oh,
on
this sounds
foot,
better.
trying to find wherever they are, in the middle of nowhere probably, where there are probably likely to be quite a few of these mobs, or go back and get help and probably authority help.
Or explore the mines more. I'm leaning more towards authority or mines.
Speaking of
Yeah.
correcting your notes, I also corrected the naming of places.
Thank you. I'm sorry I can't spell.
It's fine. It's fine.
I don't know how much more there is going to be in the mines, but if you wish to check them out.
I don't mind. This is fine with me. Just
Well,
stuff.
Arsene wouldn't be going down there.
Going together.
You can't go down there if you're sick.
I can, and I will. Being sick doesn't stop me from doing the work I need to do.
Boys at this
Have you
point
switched?
slowly backing away from this conversation and just watching.
Thanks for the support, Bob.
I'm not dealing with that.
That? Okay.
Fine, you can come with, but
Mhm.
you need to be careful.
Be careful. Why? I won't shoot anyone.
Mm.
Possibly, hopefully. Actually, I can't promise that, but I'll try not to.
I was going to say that could be helpful in this situation.
Just get Night Eyes to do it. It'll be bait. Night Eyes will kill things.
Night Eyes can shoot now.
Night Eyes can stab people. Have a crossbow. Don't use that.
Steal kills.
Runs in the family.
Yeah. Oh, it is a Scully.
Scully,
What up?
sub made us do it.
Scully. Sorry, I saw the
And
W.
you said- You said that it was good that we were killing dogs, so don't you start.
I don't think they count. Stop.
So our options are go check out the mines or go get the 5-0.
I say we check out mines, if you guys so wish, and then go back, because I believe it is too big of an operation to go to wherever these headquarters are by ourselves.
We'll be fine. We're good.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
So how many more mines are there?
From your walk to this one, you saw. You probably saw about 3 other abandoned mines when you got here.
Are there tracks going in and out of them? Or recent tracks?
We didn't.
You are
check.
not in line of sight of them. They're somewhat spread out. They're not all like within this one area. You're currently at one which has the tracks. There were a few which you passed. You didn't really look to see if there were any other tracks. You continued following the main tracks. But they're further back, more towards Tribal on this trail that you've been taking.
Yeah. We only went in this one because I saw light in it.
Let's go.
All the tracks lead around here.
Let's go back to the first one, heading backwards, and check that out.
Nice, okay.
Boy follows along.
Let's go. Oh,
No.
Can I send Night Eyes just up into the sky just to keep an eye out for things, maybe? I'm worried about I know we stopped the guy from getting back up, but just in case anyone is coming to check up on the guys that we killed.
We did move his body.
I know.
Yeah, you dragged it back and threw it back into the mine.
I know we did,
Okay,
but
that's all that
never
matters
know.
then.
Might be more of them.
Yeah, you can send Night Eyes up. What were you going to say, Comet? All right.
For now.
Well, so you start to head back the way you came then?
And stop at the first mine to see if there are tracks going in and out.
All right. Well, you slowly make your way along the tracks once again. Somewhat easier this time with your own rather unique set of footprints following alongside them. It takes you an hour or so, but you do round the base of a hill and notice that there is an abandoned mine. This one also, this one more boarded up rather than gates. Whoever it is, make a investigation check.
Now, with me being sick, would that be a disadvantage, or?
Would it?
You are.
That's intelligence rolls, so maybe not.
Isn't he exhausted though?
His
No, I slept
his
anyway.
exhaustion was you recover 1 exhaustion point every time you take a long rest. He only received 1 exhaustion point by literally pushing himself too far. So
he's back to normal now.
He's back
on
to
that
normal on
sense.
the exhaustion. However, he is still ill and classified as poisoned, which has disadvantage on attack and ability checks.
There's all of
So,
those
and
checks.
this isn't an
All
ability
ability
check.
checks, attacks,
Oh,
and all
boy.
ability checks.
So Boar and
Got
Arsene aren't doing anything, basically.
They can, they just have disadvantage on it.
If I
So
ask
they're
Night
not-
Eyes to do things for me,
Yeah,
Do I have disadvantage on investigating, or?
that is an ability check. So unfortunately, at
So
natural 20, you probably should have let someone else look.
really, Ninja?
Or
wait.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. I mucked up.
Yeah, don't just go ahead and do.
Also, who left?
Sophie left.
Ah,
Yeah.
right. Anyway. All right. Well, as
But wait.
everyone else is sort of
Wait.
having.
Wait, he was at disadvantage, but if we're all doing it, he'd be assisted, so it'd be advantage. So cancel each other out. So you take the first one, so it's natural 20.
Jam.
Yeah.
As you are all discussing, Boar decides to wander forwards. The result of the rolls was being said. Unfortunately, you cannot veto it.
I was
Nice
looking
try.
it up.
So, congratulations, Comet.
That was so much work. Get it pixel perfect accurate. God, that was...
Of course you were.
Yeah.
Anyway.
As you are all discussing this, Boar just kind of happily trundles forwards, looks around, looks at the mine, looks at it boarded up, just reaches forwards, grabs them, pulls the planks off, and sticks his head down into the mine shaft. It's dark. There doesn't appear to be any lights on, but you think you see a crate or something slightly further down into the mine.
There's a crate down here, guys.
I hate you.
I'll
I know you do.
check it out. Is it dark?
The only one with dark, the only one without dark vision goes to check it out.
I use the produce flame. As I walk past him, I click my hand and juice flame.
Wouldn't it be safer? Fine. Sure. No.
All right.
Whatever.
What about Night Eyes?
Night Eyes can come
Sano's
with
just
me.
gone.
Hi,
"Oh, fire," and is now just walking down into this mine.
Let's go. Quickly.
Alright. I'm being mindful of where I'm placing my feet. Like that, and I make my way towards.
Well, as you reach the crate, you notice that the top is open from a small distance. As you get closer, please make a perception check.
Right, perception. That's. Or am I finally remembering things? Yay!
Night
I'm
Eyes 2,
finally
Night Eyes is good.
remembering. I'm finally remembering things, guys. We've been doing this for how long?
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know anymore.
This is session 20.
This
Oh.
is session 20.
Session 20 of my campaign.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah,
Natural
those.
20. Good way to start
Hey.
off
And
the
as you
night.
approach, you notice that there's some wicks sticking out, and you are smart enough to move your hand with the fire away from them.
Oh.
So as you walk forwards, you have your hand with the fire somewhat behind you, still casting light, but nowhere near it. And as you look in, you notice that this may have been a good idea. These don't really look like any candles that you know of.
Yep, I
They're
thought
sort
so.
of red, and seem to be almost papery on the outside. Most of them seem quite damp, however.
Dynamite?
Because, it's always safe to go into an old mine with an open flame. Is correct. Mhm.
No, it eats up the oxygen.
How big's the crate? How many are in there, sort of thing?
You're probably the crates. It's got a few in there. It seems considerably more empty than what it was beforehand. What it could have been. There seems to be about 20 sticks in there. Although sort of rummaging around, you think you can only find about 4, 5, which may possibly still work.
So the rest wouldn't work if they dried up.
No, it seems that they've got quite soggy, and they seem to have deformed slightly. Some of the wicks have fallen out. They do not seem to be in best operating procedure.
Can I see all this?
Well,
Or has it
Sano's
gone too
walked-
far?
So, it's about 30 feet down, but I'm assuming he hasn't picked any out. He's just kind of
No.
stuck his hand without the fire in and sort of
Yeah.
rummaging around slightly.
Yeah.
So
Being
all you can
careful.
tell is Sono holding his hand away from the crate and sort of on tiptoes reaching into this box.
It's like a
Would I
small
know
child
anything
getting
about
a
mines
toy box.
and the potential for dynamite in that?
Roll
Alright.
straight intelligence.
You do that because I have disadvantage, even if I.
No, this would only really be Agnes, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess Arsene doesn't loot mines very often.
Well, no, yours is more sort of tombs.
Ooh.
You are not exactly an expert on mines. However, you do recall some information about explosives being used to help in mining, and that it's not a common thing. It's a more human creation. Dwarves don't really use it as often. Weirdly enough, they actually prefer to use picks. But you have also seen a few of these. There, for some reason, when you were home, quite a few crates seem to be always being brought along to the Lord's house.
So I guess it's not a crate. I wouldn't instantly go, oh, that's a dynamite crate.
It's not a crate which you'd instantly go, oh, that's a dynamite crate. But you have seen dynamite before. You have seen dynamite going to the Lord's house, and you know what it does.
I have no
Go
idea what these
Google.
are.
No, you wouldn't. Being the way that you've been raised, you would have no real idea.
I found
than the fact
something.
that You probably shouldn't put the fire near them.
I found something. They're like candles,
What?
but red.
Oh.
The candles.
Oh. So no, put
Yeah.
them down.
What?
Put them down and turn your hands off.
Okay, but I won't be able to see.
Don't worry about it.
Then just walk away and come towards the light. Just get out.
I'm happy to.
Don't
I'm happy
walk
not to
towards
see,
the
but
light.
you have to come down here and get me.
Can Night Eyes show him the way
I'll-
back up?
I will go in and get him as long as his hands aren't on fire anymore.
I click fire.
I will go and get him, and I will also pick up How many did you say were looking decent?
About 5.
2? I will pick up 5.
Ooh.
You want to tell us what they are?
All right. Well, you sort of look at this box and you see that there's about 20 in there. Only a quarter of them seem serviceable. Most of the others seem to be. Some of them have actually kind of spilled open. Some of the wicks have fallen out. Some of them are just seemingly in half through just age. But the 5 which you fish out seem to be in working order.
And as we get out,
on D&D Beyond.
I'm just writing it out at the moment. When we're out of the cave, I will hold them up and just go, don't put fire near these. They will explode, and you will most likely die.
So they
are bad.
They're like fun time candles.
No.
Explosive.
They're fun if someone you don't like is holding them.
What happens if they throw it back? Like they go,
Throw
I
it
don't
back,
want this.
Throw it back.
And it's still lit?
Yeah.
Then you explode.
So not fun.
Not fun.
Not fun.
You can see him literally making a mental note. Good. You almost feel like you can hear the paper that is his mind just being dotted.
Well, on his eyes just appears the word processing with a small circle just spinning.
Rainbow circle.
Just to be safe, I'm not going to give them to you, Sir, no, because you have hands that light on fire, and that's not encouraging.
Can I have one?
You don't have any fire.
Says the woman who can shoot fire from her hands as well.
Slightly different. You can't shoot fire if you're holding one.
I have tinderbox.
Yeah, I think most of us have one of them.
That was a lie. I don't have tinder. Oh, I do have tinderboxes. I have a singular
tinderbox. You set things on fire when they hit you, so you know.
This is almost just going to throw a dynamite at me and I set it on fire.
You never know.
I am not going to give Arsene one.
Aww.
Boys off looking at a butterfly.
There's another mine, right, Sub?
You were seeing another one on the way in as well. However, that one was further up a hill.
Happy to walk.
I don't know how many of these are going to have the same situation. If there aren't tracks leading to them, I believe they'll just be similar and empty.
Something like the old.
True.
Maybe we'll find more of those candle things.
We can make our way back, depending on how far it seems, where we go up the hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, you set off once again, following your old tracks. As you make your way along, another hour or so passes. Agnes checking the newly acquired dynamite every now and then, just to make sure no one's borrowed it.
Mm-hmm.
However, you do come across near one of the last hills before they flatten out onto the plains for what seems like a ridiculously far distance. There is another mine shaft, apparently boarded up at the top of one of these hills.
This time I suggest don't go in with fire.
Okay. I'll let you.
Abigail stealthily walks in there.
It's boarded up, isn't it?
Yes, the mine is indeed boarded up.
Who's the strongest?
Who's going to do this?
I have disadvantage.
Not Agnes.
I have disadvantage, but I could give it a try.
Wild. I could some.
You gonna waste it? Two of us could just help.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up. Do I have what I think? No, I don't. I still had a crowbar, but I don't. I have a shovel.
I can hand someone the hand axe so they can chop at
Wait,
it.
I have a miner's pick. Can I use that to, like, wedge them open?
Make a perception check.
Wait, I have a crowbar. What are we doing?
Disadvantage.
I know.
We're opening the mine.
I know.
Shit,
I have a
mine.
crowbar which we could use to open it.
Well, the wood seems to be nailed in a fashion to which is designed to stop people going in. It seems to have managed to hold up for quite a period of time, you think.
Woo!
Maybe some space to try and wedge something in and lever it out.
Was going to walk over and set the crowbar into where that little space is.
All right.
I'm
As you
gonna
set the
help, try and
crowbar,
help.
as you set the crowbar in and start to apply pressure, you just hear, and you look and you see the wood which you were trying to pry out. Just that small amount of movement ended up snapping it in half, and you notice the entire beam is just rotted.
Ooh, oops.
I
Didn't
give
notice
Cerno a high five. We're so strong, buddy.
Yeah!
that.
Since when did Sophie become Nate?
What?
As you remove the crowbar ball, the one which the half which had been suspended and you were pushing against the crowbar, as you sort of remove it, it kind of goes and just swings as one of the nails snap.
Okay.
Okay, Agnes. Have fun.
Can I use...
Agnes walks straight through.
There's still several boards there. He's only snapped one.
No.
I thought you said one broken, one snapped.
Yeah, one broke, and then a nail snapped, which was one of the nails in the board which Boar was trying to pry off. Snapped as he just removed the crowbar.
Okay, she doesn't walk through. She waits for them to continue.
Clear it and then she can walk.
All right. Well, having noticed the lack of its ability to stop anything, you guys sort of just push against the wood, and most of it just almost crumbles away in a really eerie fashion. Agnes, make a investigation check.
While she's doing that, Boy's going to go to the corner to throw up.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Cerno's just chatting Boar as that happens.
Night Ice has gone
He's
with
like
him.
holding my hair
Agnes.
back.
Sorry.
Drunk.
Agnes made our scene sit on the ground.
What?
Well, Agnes, you sort of look around. There doesn't appear to be any crates. You don't feel like going too far into the mines. There doesn't appear to be anything of much use. And as you turn and start to walk back, you hear that creak and look up and see some of the support beams look very similar to the way the front entrance looked. Old and rotting.
A walk faster.
You briskly make your way back to the bright light.
I really don't think anyone's in there.
What if you destroy the beams so no one can go in there?
It would collapse.
Yeah.
Dynamito.
I'm sure there are easier ways to do it.
Okay.
Cerno, how far can you fire those fire hands?
He clicks his fingers together and fire that comes to life in his hand. So I can read.
I know.
30 feet!
Can you even throw them 30 feet? Wow.
I can only flame a creature within 30 feet of me, so...
Why don't you burn those beams?
And then run.
And then run.
How far down were these beams you were talking about?
They weren't that far, were they?
There are several sets of support beams. They're about 20 feet apart from each other all the way down. Actually, yeah, no, about 20 feet, I'd say. 20, maybe 15.
The rotting
There's
ones
several
she
sets of them.
noticed?
Oh,
They're all of them.
I was going to say, most of them are rotted.
Set them all on fire.
You could probably burn the first 2 sets. Like the second one in and then run back, burn the first one and run again.
Set fire to the first 2. Entirely sure. Okay.
Well, you sort of, having snapped your fingers and still holding the fire, you sort of look at it, look at them. Not so much sure. Make a ranged spell attack, please.
There's the.
I'm sorry if I'm quiet at all. I'm still trying to wake up.
All right, so you sort of ready your arm back, glance at them again, and sort of lob. You see the fire arc somewhat, almost hitting the ceiling and managing to just clip the bottom of the of one of the support beams, where you see a sort of as just rotting wood falls from this beam. It doesn't seem to ignite.
That's not what. Okay.
Yes, because it's rotted, it's harder for it to set alight.
It's damp.
Was worth a try rather than wasting dynamite.
Why are we leveling the cave? Mine.
I don't know.
So no one can enter it.
Because it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh.
What was that?
You turn to see that slightly further down, one of the support beams has just given way, and a mass of just rock and earth has filled the tunnel.
Thank goodness you left that very
I'm
quickly.
going to say Cerno did that. And
it's not the one he hit, but sure.
Shush.
I
say we are done here.
All right.
Go.
I'm muted.
Shall we travel onwards?
Let's go to the next one.
Yep. What next one?
There isn't a next one. We just traveling back to Tribal now.
Yep.
All right. So you continue following on the trail. Now leaving the mountain range. On your way, could I have some perception checks, please?
Wait, are we following the tracks from before?
Yeah, just going in the opposite direction back to Tribal.
I thought we were following the tracks that
anyone...
led off.
No, we're going back to Tribal.
No, you've been heading you've been following the tracks back to Tribal. There were just mines which you passed on the way in, which you didn't investigate. Which is what you just investigated.
Are we all making them?
Do we all need to make it?
Well, 2 of you.
Yeah, I'm not touching that shit then.
Cerno, what's yours?
+4.
Go for it. No, go for it.
Night has a +5.
Well,
I'm busy going click, click, click.
Fire!
Go put it away, Phil.
No fire! No fire!
Agnes is staying far away from Cerno.
Boy's clapping behind him each time he steps. Clap on, clap off. The clapper.
Well, as that's happening, Savangel resisting the urge to play some music, but still just having the thoughts sort of flow through her head. It reaches midday. You have mid-travel rations before continuing on your way. And as you set off again, you suddenly hear this thunderous roar from up ahead.
We recognize it.
Yes, it seems familiar.
Night Eyes, what is that? Good. No, it's the frickin' river. Right?
Well, Night Eyes can make a perception check.
Down. Low. Don't know. Tries to hide.
Although you are, I was going to say,
There's
you're in long
nothing.
grass, but you're currently on plains. You can, Night Eyes can make a perception check, and someone else can if you want.
It's a fish.
but it's a
Cerno.
very loud.
Or Salango.
Oh no. It's not the river. Never mind.
Anyone else going to make a
So it's
perception
an
check?
Cerno or Salango. So it's an animal sound rather than like a storm.
It's a roar from a creature. Cerno, it's enough to make you stop, and it's somewhat memorable. Night Eyes, from flying above, are seeing you get a rather clear image in your head of green scales moving amongst the grass.
Oh boy.
What the fuck?
Okay, we'll
Do
stop.
we know?
Quick.
Do we?
There's-
Sono's already
there's
hiding, so
something-
Sono's just gonna roll stealth.
There's something
Anyway,
with green
Sono
scales in
started-
the grass moving. Is it
Sono's
moving
already
towards us?
started hiding, so he's
How
No,
far away?
It seemed to be moving around in sort of a. It's about. You're talking probably 300 feet, 400 feet.
I'm actually going to cast.
Having it be point out to you allows you to be able to see these specks of green moving around.
I'm going to cast Pass Without Trace.
All right. So
Can we
Sono
move around it?
just literally falls face first into the grass before muttering to himself and doing the arcane hand move. And you see that the small shadows of the grass seem to suddenly start clinging to your form.
Get a +10. To
Well,
I say we stealth and move.
Oh, I'm so happy
Around
for that
it.
+10.
I mean, Savangao disappears from existence.
That's a 15. No, that's not a 15. That's a.
That's a 26.
Not
Yeah.
a 20.
Wait, no, because I get a +5.
Well, then that's a 31, isn't it?
And then what about pass a trace?
Oh, no, sorry, not. Sorry, you're at disadvantage, aren't you?
Yes.
Ninja.
Yeah.
So that's
that'd
a
be
20.
10. So yeah, I got 20.
Thank God. But we are all two
Alright.
nice.
So,
I say we
Those-
move in a circle and away
Sono
from it.
falling flat, and everyone else crouching down. You kind of glance around and not entirely sure where the cat's gone. What do you do? It's from what
We
you saw. It was not on. It was not directly on the path that you were following, but it was somewhat nearby.
is it on the left or right? Because if it's on the left, we go right. If it's on the right, we go left and up round.
From the way you're looking, it's west. It's west of the path you've been traveling on.
Then we go east, I say, and arc round it.
Avoid it as much as possible.
Yeah. Wide berth.
All right.
Yeah. Aren't you meant to be one with nature and animals?
Do I know if that's wait, I just knew that sounded familiar and I'm putting the dots together by saying what.
It sounded familiar.
Do I know that the green scales moving?
I'm assuming Arsene told you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
She
I
did.
did. I even said it out loud.
Yeah. There's a difference between beasts and dragons.
Sure, it's
Dragons?
What if it's like a baby
Okay.
dragon or a drake? Do I know what drakes are? I should do.
No,
Let's see
but
what
you from what you saw from Night Eyes, you recognize this form.
So it was that fucking dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck is it here? Oh, I guess it is just east
It's
of
a dragon.
where we found it.
Hmm.
Had to go somewhere, I suppose.
You know what? Sono, make a intelligence. Actually, no, just make a nature check, Sono.
What's that? That's a +1. I'm a crap druid.
This seems to be a pattern with the druids in our campaigns, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I would say Savangao. I would say just make a nature check as well. Okay. You're both somewhat aware that green dragons often make their homes in forests, although they do venture out to hunt.
Know that there's
Mm-hmm.
a forest up here, that direction.
Yes, you can see that forest. You also know that Neverwinter Woods is to the east, since you got quite close to it when you were in Thunder Tree.
I say
We are crowned.
All right. Well, you guys start to slowly creep through the grass, and a few more roars are let out. And actually, all of you make perception checks again.
All of us?
Actually, you know what? No, you're probably at this point you're aware enough. You also hear what appears to be a sort of screeching, sort of squawking sound, which is short-lived. You see a sort of plume of green just erupt forwards and just slowly fade away.
whatever that.
And as you continue to slowly make your way, essentially not away, but almost in parallel to this dragon, you suddenly see it sort of rear up, the wings unfurl, lift, and just start to beat as it slowly rises into the air. The sending shockwave through the grass, rippling it, going quite far. You're not quite within range to just feel the beat of the air, but it's moving. I would say that Night Eyes and Savangao probably do notice that this creature seems to be larger than when you last saw it. Although two of you do make perception checks again.
Fuck, why?
The people who are good at it. So no, Seven Girl and Night Eyes.
Night Eyes is.
I got +3.
Oh,
+4.
Night Eyes. You do it. Natural 20
Oh.
from Night Eyes.
Wow.
3 of you did it, but okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I did say 2, but both Cerno and Night Eyes noticed that the dragon seems to be flying, not as it's sort of lifting up, it seems to be. If you could limp whilst flying, it appears to be doing that. It seems to be slightly off balance, and you notice that its left wing is actually somewhat gashed, and there's a bit of a tear in the hide between some of its fingers. However, as it slowly turns and starts flying towards the east, you notice that it does appear to have a few gashes on it, and Night Eyes can make out that there are actually what appear to be sort of some scales missing and wounds which are beginning to heal, which appear to be more man-made. Appears to be maybe from some swords, a few arrows peppering it. One of the wings has a few holes in it, small holes, which maybe an arrow or two of passing through. But the left wing definitely seems to be rather badly damaged with quite a gaping hole in it. But it's still flying, just at a somewhat clumsy looking speed, although you would dare not call a dragon clumsy.
Definitely not. So it's injured, but still not worth.
If there's something around here that's injured a dragon, I don't think we want to fight it.
Don't think we want to fight the dragon either, considering 2 of us aren't feeling so great.
Yeah.
I say we don't fight it because those we are hunting and trying to go after right now are probably also enemies of the dragon. And having the dragon fight them could be to our benefit.
True.
It's moving away quite rapidly now.
Wait, sorry?
West. The woods.
Yeah.
That's east.
Were some of those injuries some that we caused?
You don't think so. You assume that those injuries would have healed by now. The man-made injuries to it appear to be relatively fresh, but healing.
Wait.
Its wing definitely was not.
Which way were the tracks going? They were leading north, not west.
So the tracks which have essentially you guys have been following have been doing this roughly. Or they basically did this for what you know. Slightly curving more than that. They kind of followed they followed around the river. So actually I'll draw it. So the tracks you've been following have essentially sort of done that. The dragon is flying that way. Anything else you want to know?
I was just trying.
The tracks that went from the mine, they were also going northwest, right?
Yeah, the tracks from the mine sort of headed out that way, but that's all you got to know.
Mm-hmm.
What if it was those people that we saw when we were last in Thundertree? The ones that attacked it? Oh, no, we didn't see Cerno and Warsaw.
No, because those were cultists.
The cultists?
Yeah.
They were there for the dragon.
Okay, never mind.
Wait,
either way.
Those cultists, the big bad that we... General Barbs or...
No, we didn't.
No, the big bad you fought in the mine, the ones who seem to be loyal to him, the Cragmore goblins, and the only humanoids you saw loyal to him were doppelgangers and the Red Band.
So basically, so far, for my personal understanding, we've killed a bunch of these guys as minions, so soon he's going to either send people out for us, or we're going to wind up kicking him.
What?
Who?
I don't know. Either we're going to have stuff being chased after us, because that's how this normally works. Either someone's going to be out to kill us, or we're going to have to wind up fighting this guy.
Do you mean the one with who from the guys in the mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude.
Okay, I get you now. I'm with you now.
Sorry, I'm. Yeah.
Not feeling good. It's okay.
Yeah.
I say we let the dragon go. It's not our problem right now.
By this point, it's fading away quickly.
Thank God.
Yeah.
It's too wounded. Just let it heal.
But were the we have the other letters that we collected from the cave. They mentioned town name, right?
Yeah. So let's see. So I've got the letter right here. Let me just open it up. I can read it out for you guys if you'd like.
That was one letter. I did give you some information on other letters, which essentially about. Actually, let me get open my notes from last session.
Sorry.
The places I have written down are Oxenfront and Russian Guard.
Do those names sound familiar to the sort?
For Cerno, yes.
A town near where I was. I don't remember the layout of the map. Sorry, so. But those names do sound familiar. Oh, we get to see the big map, ladies.
Oh, wait! I'm not on the screen. Wait.
Oh, we get to see a bigger map of the Sword Coast. We are all down.
You get to see the top of the Sword Coast. I don't have names on the continent.
Alright. Oh, so we went through the... What were the names? Oxenfront and Russian Guard?
Yeah.
Wow,
the one above it.
These guys have a wide network of people if they're targeting Oxenfront, Russian Fort, and the Tribal.
What you got from Oxenfront was my... Let me check my... session 19.
Oh, people are being dropped there.
Significant amount, several more notes about people being taken to Oxenfront and reports from around Russian Guard to be that it's heavily defended.
Okay.
Also had things stating some prices about purchasing of boats and things warning to stay clear of Mapletide and Axenmuth.
Axenmuth, okay.
Due to too much risk. Advice to seek further down the Sword Coast.
Would Oxenfront be decently big, or
it's a town? It's so the sort of white and black dots, they are towns. The sort of they range from villages like sort of the small size from Fandalin to a decently sized town like Leylon. You guys haven't been there, but Abby knows. Leylon's pretty decently sized. The black dots are more sort of your main towns. They are so like Neverwinter. The other dots of just solid black dots. You are looking at things that size.
Okay. Question. Where did we haven't actually discussed this yet? Backstory.
No,
That be a
we're working on it.
that be a place he would have met and probably shouldn't go? Oxenfront or I don't know.
Oxenfront, you guys probably wouldn't have gone through Rushing Guard, but you probably would have gone through Oxenfront. You know it to be a mining town, similar to Fandalin, although it is more sort of it's sort of a few metals. You're looking at more copper and what else? Sort of the lower end metals. You're not looking at the gold, silvers, or platinums. You're looking at copper and iron. That'd be sort of it. So sort of more the tool smithing sort of stuff. It's not overflowingly rich, but there are a few mines there. It's a decently sized mining town.
All right. I say we keep.
You guys probably stayed a night or two there. It's not on the Sword Coast, but it's sort of like how Fandalin isn't on the Sword Coast, but it is nearby.
Yeah.
Oh, Seven Gale also takes this opportunity, being super stealthy, to pat Agnes on the head.
Agnes,
Mother.
watching this dragon leave, and you feel sort of, whew, you just feel this sort of fur rub against your hair, and then
Sword
slide
burst.
down to your back before quickly disappearing.
Can I not react?
You are not expecting it, and this is a very sneaky cat.
Damn it, Seven, yeah.
love
I've seen it with a natural
God dang
20.
it.
Night Eye is just focused on the dragon.
Damn it.
Oh.
He finally got the pets.
Seven girls, we petted
Damn
everyone.
it. I like to feel there were still like swords rushing around her, but no one's there. Just like, what the fuck was that?
Right, we don't need the suspenseful music anymore. We can go back to the.
Oh yeah. Sensual music when we
Alright.
found it.
I say we
Carry
Yes.
on my wayward son. No.
Back
never
past.
mind.
Cerno's weird
yeah, I do want to
Obelisk.
there.
pillar.
All right. Well, it is nearing the end of the day. However, you end up approaching the obelisk.
I would also like to say Agnes is making sure that like Arsene's fine and drinking and
Drink up,
doing the
person I
stereotype.
don't like. Drink up.
No, she's doing the stereotypical as if this
Oh my
person's
God.
sick. I will take care of her.
Oh, seems like what the fuck is
She
going on?
she doesn't care about Boar as much, but she's
Yeah, I
very.
figured.
She started to take to Arsene, apparently. She
No,
started to
but
take
she
to
has-
the race.
She has
she
her
hates.
reasons. She has her reasons.
I see it's just pure confusion. It's like I don't understand what's going on. Honest.
Boar, help me. No, I'm good.
Help me,
Agnes,
please.
you help take care of
It's so
Yes.
tense.
Are you going to go talk to your animals?
You pillar.
Your little
yeah,
friend.
and I walk off on my own to
All right.
an obelisk or a
What would the
pillar.
cat do? Obelisk.
One, the other.
Alright, I'll call
One
it an
and the
obelisk.
same.
Sounds cool.
Well, it's an ancient unknown stone obelisk, but I've just put old pillar on the map because it's so much easier to type out.
I walk out.
Also, so the running joke of Sono's pillar can stay.
Yes! Yes!
Just don't play powder cake with it.
Looks a little big for that.
All right. So
Oh no!
Oh god! Oh
Return of patty cake.
no!
Okay, so everyone else is
Ow.
We're packing again the tents up.
unpacking the tent and setting up camp. Cerno, you'll make your way over to this white obelisk which appears to be crumbling and with vines twisting around it. The odd rock here and there.
Oh.
No response.
Hi. Me again. Hi. No responses though.
Nope.
Are we hearing him shout, like, in the distance?
You're setting up camp close enough to hear him talking.
I knock on the obelisk like it's a door.
You hit it, and as you pull your hand away, you notice a bit of stone just sort of crumble and tumble down and fall onto the floor.
Oh shit! No! I look up towards it and I'm like, sorry about that. So sorry. You're not gonna respond, are you?
No response.
Alright. I sit down in front of the obelisk. I'm not leaving. Not leaving until he speaks to me.
Alright, well.
At some point while everyone summon my spirits one by one. If I can, and speak to each of them. They can get anything.
Well, you summon them. You do summon them one by one. They can't exactly talk, but they seem to gesture and such, and nod, and they seem to be able to nod and shake their heads in an effort to try and help you. Sometimes they just don't do either, and you assume it's because they have no bloody clue. So, what are you essentially asking of them?
What happened before? Okay, was it a fey creature?
They can't really answer you. They just kind of sit staring.
Can whatever spoke to me or speak to me again?
The bear nods.
Are there other pillars like this?
No response.
The voice that spoke before, was it a god? Nature?
Again? As you pose these different questions, they sort of look at each other and just somehow manage to shrug with its wing. Also, Ninja, they are spirits, they are not actual beasts. So
Okay,
animals wouldn't entirely work.
Okay, I just needed to know.
They are essentially his spirit guides. Essentially. Which he has weaponized.
I can summon more of you more than usual. Have something to do with it?
They nod, and by this time, probably about an hour has gone past. Those who are setting up camp, I would like for two of you or one of you with advantage to make a perception check.
Savangel or Night Eyes, because you got the higher edition.
I don't mind.
Well,
I don't mind. Oh, no.
Savangel with a 19.
Ooh.
Your sensitive ears begin to pick up what you think is the sounds of multiple hooves. Masses of them just not full-on sprinting, but at a steady and quick pace. So I know, judging about this, Samuel, you hear them, and they sound to be coming from about in a sort of easterly direction, and getting louder and closer.
Seven Girl vibes.
Sono?
Yeah?
Your spirit eagle just raises a wing and seems to point off into the east direction.
Something coming. What is it?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Nah, I won't.
Wait,
I
your
won't do
eagle's
that.
out. Your eagle is out. I believe you have advantage on that.
I didn't know if we counted it because I didn't.
Sorry, it's a hawk.
I didn't.
I would say that yes, you have advantage on that.
I'm so happy. Thank you.
Oh wow.
Thank you.
So as you sort of follow the line of its feather where it's sort of pointing, you sort of squint slightly, and then you sort of see it. It's sort of moving its wing ever so slightly, and so you turn your head. And on the horizon, you can just about make out, heading in a somewhat direction towards you, what appears to be about 100 centaurs.
Ah.
Wait, hold on.
Okay. Okay.
100 centaurs.
I look to the hawk. Thank you. I'll speak to you all later. Okay. I run off to the camp.
As fast as
Have
his wee
we
little
been
legs will carry him.
Has Austin told us about this yet?
It was Savangal. Savangal
Oh, Savangal.
Oh,
Has Savangale told us?
Yes, and she hid.
We just see
Guys,
her
I
go
hear hooves.
horses. Boom.
So tell me when I make it.
Well, about a minute of sort of going, wait, what? You guys begin to hear the sounds of feet hurriedly running as Cerno approaches the camp, somewhat red-faced, breathing heavily.
I say we don't
Centaurs.
look.
A lot of them. Centaurs.
Then okay. Well, be prepared, I guess. Don't look as if you're going to shoot them in the face as soon as they say hello.
Okay.
Boy says, "Are there more letters for me?"
They don't appear to be
think so.
heading. They don't appear to be heading towards you guys. They appear just to be heading in sort of general direction. From what Sano could make out, they appear to be sort of following a sort of path, sort of
So they're not
around
heading
and along.
towards us.
Well, they sort of are, but it's not like directly
Directly.
towards you guys. It's sort of. Actually, ignore the little tail bit there. It seems to be a sort of path like that, going quite close to the obelisk, though.
I quickly call one of them. Like, I just quickly ask one of my spirits, "Could they help me figure out what it is?"
They've already disappeared.
Damn it!
Also, welcome May to the chat.
Welcome.
Hi, May.
Why did the sound effect pop up? I muted it.
Did it do it twice?
No.
Damn it. Oh,
Hello. Welcome in. Welcome.
I wanted to do it twice.
Are they
again.
going too fast that we couldn't stop them, or?
They're going at decent speed, although one or two seem to be looking in your direction.
Boy's gonna wave.
Oh, so they've
I'll
noticed
join in.
us?
A few of them have.
I'll wave with war. Might as well.
Where are you? Okay, Agnes is going to shout. I just can't shout physically here. Where are you going?
They're at a distance. They're at a distance. You can sort of make some of them out, but they don't seem to reply. Although one sort of younger-looking one does wave back to both of you who are waving.
Yes! Yes!
Uh,
That's all that matters.
Well, so it's not like an army going past. It's like
Make nature checks, all of you.
All of us? Like in general?
Actually, make nature or history checks, whichever is better.
Phew, history's better.
Oh, it's the
Both of
same.
them are
Either way, that's a 0 for me.
history.
Horrible history.
Yes,
got a
we know
12.
you've been watching that
Oh,
a lot.
I've been
shit,
watching them a
I
lot.
It's
I
great,
meant to
isn't
do
it?
it twice. Oops.
Got a 12.
13 for.
Am I the only one doing a history check? Alright. Y'all are shit at
Well,
history.
they're the same either way.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a
Well,
+2 in my history.
let's see. So that's a 13, a 13, an 18, a 12, and a 4. So only Agnes can recall this, but
A
you recall, is your history or nature? Or is,
either one, they're the same.
are you proficient in either?
No.
All right. So you recall reading somewhere in a book about centaurs migrating and the fact that they are creatures which are forever on the move. That they follow very distinct paths, which is essentially handed down to them through generations to essentially follow this migration. This is one of the reasons why they sometimes do happen to come to blows with civilization, because a road, a city springs up on their sort of natural trail to which they follow. But their sort of migrations can take decades. They span like pretty much the entire continent.
I don't think they're going anywhere special.
Special
Though
to
it's
them, but not
unlikely.
special to you guys.
It's unlikely to happen again anytime soon.
Oh yeah, this is a rare occurrence.
Would I have seen this before? Sort of thing?
Nope.
I'm gonna sit and take
I'm gonna
it in.
say, how old are you?
Right in.
All right. Well, you sit and marvel as they continue to make their way, slowly going further and further away from you. You notice that the ones at the there are a few who are sort of separated from the herd, who actually have bows in one hand, not ready to fire, but just in case something does happen to come near. They're sort of split. A few they're sort of surrounding in a ring and sort of a spaced out slightly further from the herd. You notice that the ones at the front are indeed sort of the younger males and females, sort of young adults. The children are sort of next by another sort of sandwich of adults, and then it sort of intermingles with adults getting between varying ages, and you do see that there are one or two who are sort of trailing back and are quite old.
Warn them about the dragon.
That might be a good idea, and Bull yells out, "Careful of the dragon!"
Oh god, maybe we should explain it to them first. Or, I don't know.
Probably. Oh, probably can't hear.
Bull
They may
yells,
not even understand common.
Yeah.
What do centaurs even speak? Oh god.
I think they would speak common.
Probably. Most
It is
creatures
the
do.
common language.
I would say Sarno would know. Sarno and Agnes would probably know. Sarno from the fact that most creatures of nature often speak Sylvan.
Yeah.
And Agnes would know that centaurs do indeed speak Sylvan as their native tongue. However, those who interact with society will often normally learn common to be able to interact.
Oh, okay. We could
She
send.
isn't
It may be
entirely sure if this herd in particular or anyone in this herd would be able to speak common.
It may be worth shouting at them.
We could send Sandoz could go over because he's small and not intimidating, so they won't feel threatened.
They're going at quite a pace.
Oh God.
Okay.
Mm.
Do you
Any
want
way
to
to,
warn
like-
them, Agnes?
Use thought
It
energy.
would seem the right thing to do.
Right.
Shout it over to them.
I wild shape into a horse.
Okay.
Alright.
Fuck.
So Cerno suddenly almost quadruples in size as he takes on the equestrian form.
And I look at Agnes.
Go. Go, Agus, go. Go for it.
I can't speak to them. Why am I going?
Thought you could speak Sylvan. Oh wait, no, you can't.
No.
Does anyone know who
The
speaks
cat can
Sylvan?
speak Sylvan.
No.
Saving girl can speak Sylvan.
Saving
There
girl.
we go. Speak
Oh.
Sylvan. Of course.
Morale.
I look at
That's
Savangal.
good.
Savangel jumps on after petting Cerno.
Cerno receives several pets before being carelessly balanced on by Savangal.
Oh.
I ride on a.
Also, this is weird. This is weird.
I ride. We ride.
Ah! Alright, well, it takes you a little while to get over, but you at a full sprint are able to catch with them. They aren't going full sprint, they are just moving at a relatively fast pace. As you start to approach, you notice that one or two of the what appear to be the sort of guards sort of glanced at each other before two of them sort of break off and head towards to intercept you.
I sort of. I come to meet them.
Well, that's
We-
convenient because they were coming to meet you.
Yeah.
They sort of. They don't seem to want to stop, and they sort of come towards you, but at an angle where they are still somewhat following the pack.
Yeah, we. Going.
Savangel yells out to them in Sylvan saying, "Be careful, there's a dragon that hunts around here, so be careful."
The two sort of look at each other before returning in the same tongue. Thank you for the warning.
Take
Although
care.
we have found many a beast like that.
Oh, fuck. Maybe they were the ones who did the damage to it. I don't say. I say. Arsene doesn't say.
They were coming from the wrong direction, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
they're heading towards.
They've been
that.
coming from east, and they seem to be heading in a northeasterly direction. Although they are beginning to head more towards the forests than the actual hills.
Okay.
Boy's in his tent, just laying there. Like,
Has he
Right.
thrown up recently?
thrown up
I'm
once.
glad I haven't thrown up yet.
Okay. So that
They sort of. Thank you for the warning. And they sort of nod and kind of look at you, half curious if there's anything else you're going to add, or if that's literally the only reason you sort of flagged them down.
That's the only reason.
It's a big
Not
dragon.
where they're going.
Are you
or-
going to?
Nah.
Are you going to tell them that it was injured, sort of thing, but probably best not piss it off?
I also tell him that the dragon that we saw has an injured wing, but has also seemed to have been in combat recently. So be careful, because a cornered animal does tend to fight back extremely hard.
That we know. We won't be in these parts for too many more days.
Okay. It was heading in the right.
They sort of nod and then start to head away back towards the herd at a increased speed, more of a sprint now, as to they are trying to catch up.
At this time, Boy slowly crawls out of his tent and walks away from the camp and goes.
Those wretches,
I-
boy.
I come to a stop.
Fucking horse.
Savangel pets the Cerno.
Cerno enjoys the pats and turns back and gallops back to.
All right.
Agnes is just like, this is weird, this is weird, this is weird. No, okay, this is weird.
Boy's coming back, wiping the pig off his face. How is any of this weird to you?
And Cerno and Savangel return.
Like, boy's actually asking, how is this weird to you? I'm a giant bugbear that's a monk.
Oh, trust me, there are many things that have been weird to me over these last few months. This is just another thing to add to the list.
I feel like we as a group are cursed for weirdness because we ourselves are a weird group. You know?
I would speak for yourself.
Speak for yourself.
So we've gone back at this point.
Yeah, you've gotten back.
I
The
hope Savangel
centaurs
gets
are-
off.
Savangel jumps off, does a flip, and bows.
Acrobatics check.
Savangel just refuses.
Oh boy, here we go.
She does a decent flip, although seems to stumble slightly on the landing, her tail getting in the way of one of her paws, although she still performs a bow.
What gives
Beautiful.
thumbs up and a clap?
What did they know?
To you too.
Well, they're aware of the dragon, and they're not planning on staying here for too long.
She says as they are trotting away. Weirdly evident.
Boy lays down in the tent and tries to sleep.
Quickly check on Ball. Not leaving my horse form. There's just a horse walking.
So, Ball, as you're sort of lying down in your tent, the tent flap moves, and as you sort of look up, you just see this horse head just sticking in, staring straight at you.
Yeah. I'm doing okay, buddy.
Don't forget, you will have to do watch tonight, Ball.
On it.
Yeah, I want to do it. I mean,
I'm up first watch.
I will take the last watch.
I up with it.
I'll take second with Night Eyes, and Night Eyes can lend me a hand.
I'll take third.
Well,
I was taking the lot. Oh, yeah, we have 4. Never mind.
Before, so you all settle down for sleep, whilst each of you slowly rotate through your watches. I would like those who are ill, so Arsene and Boar, to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Great.
With disadvantage or just regular?
No, these are saving throws, so they're not effective.
Are you fucking kidding me? Wow.
10.
You're both, unfortunately, still ill.
Fuck.
And on top of the 8 hit points which you have already lost, you suffer an additional 2, so you're now at your total hit points are now reduced by 10.
Didn't Cerno take a spell to cure this?
I'm going to be taking the spell.
You didn't do it for the whole day we've been traveling?
He can only take them at the ends of long rests.
Yeah, but we took a long rest when they were already ill.
I forgot, okay?
Good job, Druid.
Okay, let's just.
Don't worry, they're just slowly dying.
Yeah.
Point to note: if their total HP reaches 0, they're dead.
Woo!
That's why I'm fixing it.
So it would be perception check when we do.
Nope. So as everyone rests and takes watch, or you struggle to get to sleep for a bit. You sort of toss, you turn.
I don't
It's
have a damn notebook.
The illness, just stomach, coughing, feeling like you're going to retch and throw up, makes it difficult. But eventually you get to sleep. And your sleep starts off as sort of darkness, dreamless. and it feels peaceful. You slowly sort of fade to just an open plain, much like what you're traveling on. However, the clouds are dark, and there's thunder rolling. All right, Jam. So, Sano, you're woken for second watch.
Is there anything
Am I
else,
taking
or
it
is
with
it
Boar,
just?
or
No, she just wakes you up. And Boar's scheduled for last watch. So that's just a side note. Not that it entirely matters. But so Boar, it's a field. Rolling thunder. You sort of glance around. Curious. It feels weird. It feels familiar and yet distant. There's a crack of lightning. And you glance around, and the bolt sort of has left a scorched mark nearby. You sort of glance around again before another crack. Multiple bolts just striking the same place. And weirdly enough, as more strike, the sound seems to almost fade slightly before it almost seems like just a continuous stream. And after a while, this just continuous stream, the sounds of cracking thunder just almost sounds very, very distant on a far wind, although it is within seeing distance for you. And this continuous stream seems to start to grow outwards and takes on more human-like features. The top of it in the cloud seems to bulge in sort of a head, followed by shoulders, arms, torso, legs. The sounds of crackling. In the air, the slight smell of burning grass. And, by the way, everyone's just disappeared from Roll20 for me.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, in the back.
They're coming back.
Oop.
Everyone was fine
Right,
for me.
I was hoping my internet had not died.
No.
No, Roll20 did.
Yeah, seemingly so. All right.
That wasn't even being picked
Anyways.
up by the microphone. God damn it, I need to set up the noise gate properly. But thank you, May, for the bit.
But anyways, so I'm starting to see figure.
It is a humanoid form, and its head seems to tilt and where what you assume would be staring at you.
I look up curiously.
You hear resounding words ringing in your head, loud, booming, almost deafening. You worry about the path you are on. Have faith. Keep traveling.
I instinctually give a monk bow, and I say thank you.
As you do, the figure seems to give a slight bow as well, and it begins to fade, the lightning dispersing. As you stand there, you suddenly feel your vision pull straight back. You're suddenly flying over plains backwards. Before what comes into view, it takes a little while to realize, but it appears to be Neverwinter. Just glowing. Before back to darkness, to where you're suddenly awoken, for it is your time to take watch.
I'll take it with. I was going to send a
By
message.
the way, sub. That
Mm-hmm.
that was really good, dude. When I'm woken, I'm going to run out and go.
Your stomach is now empty once again.
Seven girl take.
I'm going to
the third one.
slowly
Yeah.
eat food and. Oh dang it! Isn't it my turn to?
Yeah,
The
no.
perception checks don't really matter.
Can I wake up?
The only point I wanted to make was that because the order was meant to go Agnes,
Agnes purposely
Arsene.
woke up Cerno instead of Arsene. And I would
Oh.
say
Yeah.
Cerno then woke up Savangal.
And asked.
Savangal would have woken up Boar.
Okay.
I think we'll remember this.
So I'm going
So,
to roll
come
thing,
the-
which is
So you spend time during your watch contemplating what... I said you didn't need a roll!
I rolled anyways. Sorry.
Well, fuck it, you see nothing! So, during the last few hours of night, as you begin to see the sun cresting on the horizon, you reflect over this, feel, and, reflect over this, search what do you think and you feel. The sun finally rises, as do the rest of your companions.
At this time, when I see the sun, I start taking down my tent and getting my stuff ready to go.
All right. Everyone's awake.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we need
Arsene
to
has
head
put
to...
2 and 2 together and is sulking. As someone of 17 would do in this situation. As I would do it.
Agnes is nothing's happened, nothing's wrong. Just carrying on.
When I wait for the hope to wake up after I finish, then I've sat down and I look at them all and I say, I think we need to head to Neverwinter.
Well, we've got to go that way anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll be going past Van Dalen to, I assume, restock on stuff, and then Neverwinter, potentially, because they would have more suitable people to deal with this sort of thing.
Question: who was the job posted by? We
This wasn't a job.
This wasn't a job.
Wasn't it on the job board
This was
saying that
just a
there are people
warning.
missing that they need to be looked for?
It was a warning.
it was a
It was
warning.
warning of going to Tribor. In fact, no one had been seen coming from it for a while. So if you were to head there, be careful.
Ah, okay. I thought
Which
it
you
was a
guys
job.
decided to go investigate.
Oops, didn't mean to.
There was a thing to do with orcs. That was a job. But
That was really old, wasn't it?
yeah.
Because you guys ignored it when you first got into... Well, not true. Boar still has one of the leaflets because he stole it.
Wait, he has 2 now? Didn't he rip down the other one?
No, he took one of them and then it was replaced, and that one just
do have
hasn't
a
been taken
poster.
down and it's now weathered. But he
God.
took that when you first got to Fandalin, and it got replaced almost instantly, but it hasn't been taken down. So it's been there for quite a while.
Woo!
But I will add a poster to my stuff.
A wanted poster.
We should continue to
Yeah, as
try
we
more them.
before we leave, I stop by the pillar one more time and I go, I'm leaving now. I'm really going.
Bye,
So
Mom,
I-
I'm off on my Pokemon journey.
This one.
So now you're starting to look clingy.
Well, what if I want to be?
No one likes
He
clingy.
says,
partner.
literally clutching the pillar.
I hope we never come back here again.
Yeah, last time was pretty weird.
So Avangel looks at Turtle like, is this why you and your girlfriend, the twig, broke up before?
He does not look impressed.
It didn't go well last time. I don't think it's going to go well this time. It's an abusive relationship. She literally chucks a dinosaur at you. It's not fun.
You don't know what a dinosaur is.
This is Jam saying it.
It's not healthy. So no, to be addicted. Something like
I'm
that.
not addicted.
Are you
sure?
kink shaming him?
Always.
Okay.
Out of my chair.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh because I've got to be quiet.
Oh, okay. I can't get up.
Let's go quickly.
We should just start and he can catch up.
Yeah.
Maybe. He'll have to run.
Oh, good.
Okay, I'm going. Nah. Throws a bloody monster at me and doesn't even have the politeness to say hi when I say hello and come back. What a meanie. So mean.
One night stands, dude. They're vicious.
What's a one night stand?
They stand on head for the entire night.
How old are you again, Sano?
24.
Oh. Sheltered life?
Counting the people I met before I left.
Shut up.
Counting the people I met before I left. My dad.
Ooh.
His mentor.
I'm glad you don't know what white man.
That's it. 2 people I can literally count with one hand.
I can
I'm
count with
glad
one
you
finger.
don't.
See? 1, 2.
Yeah.
Well, you can count.
I'm glad you
Okay.
don't know what a one night stand is. Then let's go.
Boy's walking off to the boat at this point.
What's a one night
The boat?
stand?
We're far from.
It's going to take you about a day to get back. Although, I'm going to just say you guys are having this conversation as you've pried him off the pillar and are now continuing.
Yes.
Yes, please.
So I know now constantly asking what's a one night stand.
What's a one night stand? Agnes, what's a one night stand?
Boy doesn't even
You should
know
ask your girlfriend
this.
about that. She'd probably know more.
I'm going to talk to Night Eyes the entire time and ignore everyone else.
I see. What's a one night
As
stand?
As the circus continues on their way,
Oh,
although
yeah.
Would I
it's a
see
circus
you?
at this point in time,
Mm.
you do eventually, with much annoyance from questioning of the wee small one, Arsene completely banking him to talk to her small dragon, Boar walking on ahead, not knowing what he's asking, Savangao providing very vague advice, and Agnes also ignoring him. You guys eventually get back to where you had pulled the boats up onto the shore to cross the river back to Tribor. That also rhymed.
Your boat gently across the stream.
All right.
Is the horse still there?
Well, you go back over to Tribor, which I've just realised I don't think it's actually named on this. It isn't.
No, it's not.
No.
I shall amend that whilst I'm talking. So, you do indeed get back to Tribor. Searching around, it seems to be as deserted as ever. However, you do come back across your horse, who seems slightly miffed at how long you've left him. And most of the food which was nearby seems to have been grazed up by now, but slightly miffed, and yet also happy to see you.
Hey.
I pet him and make sure they're okay.
All right. Well, it's now getting close to evening. Going to take you another, what? We're talking 1, 2, 3 days to get to Vandalen, and an additional 3 to get to Neverwinter.
Alright.
A long trip.
It is. It is.
Mm.
You come morning, having, I assume, spent a night in the abandoned town.
Yeah, because that's totally not, like, creepy.
Yeah, but it's a roof over your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
You
Yeah,
continue-
it was like abandoned town full of kitchens, beds, like
bed.
decent
Decent
hospitality.
living.
Yeah.
Not like top luxury, but it's somewhat luxury compared to sleeping outside.
Yeah, I want to sleep in one of the beds, please. If we
So,
have time.
what was that? Sorry.
If it's night time, we move the bed. You know.
Yeah, no, I'm saying so you sleep in Tribor.
Yeah. Sorry.
Since
I
it
missed that.
is becoming night when you get there, so you spend the night in Tribor and continue on your way back towards Fandalen. Unless you want to go straight to Neverwinter.
We probably need to top up on like supplies and that, don't we?
Yeah.
With our scene, you are with her hunting, although Sano, I assume you have cured them, otherwise I'm going to get them to roll a Constitution saving throws.
Yeah, I've cured them.
Yay.
Both on the road.
Sano, during this trip and constantly asking questions, does cast Lesser Restoration on both of you.
God.
And you feel the disease leaving your body, to which you are now back and healthy beings. After a long night's rest at Tribor, your health is back to full.
Much better.
Alright, so we don't need to roll the perceptions or anything?
No, and with Arsene, the ranger in your group, along with the druid in what is pretty plentiful lands, you are currently okay to survive on food without rations.
We could go straight to Neverwinter.
Yeah, but the job was posted in Fandalen. Who was it posted
by? Wasn't a job.
Not a job. The warning. Who was the warning
It was a
by?
warning.
It didn't state. It was just a written warning.
We could go to the town mayor and tell him this is why, and this is what we found out.
It's just another half a day travel.
I hope you can spread the word.
Split the party?
Probably not best.
Well,
True.
Neverwinter's probably better equipped to deal with the problem anyway. So
this is true.
Straight to Neverwinter.
Straight to Neverwinter.
Straight to Neverwinter.
Right.
So you pass by Fandalen and passing by your new castle, you actually meet one or two people on the roads when you get close.
If we see someone that we know is from Fandalen or is on the way there, could we give them the note to give to the mayor?
There's no one you recognize. There appears to be a few laborers and a few supply carts heading towards your castle. You assume to start essentially the rebuilding. But no one you specifically recognize. Once you get past Fandalen, following along the Tribor Trail, you start to see more traders, more laborers seemingly making their way towards Fandalen. And also some of them making their way away from it. The town is still beginning to grow quite rapidly now. It's been, over a week since you were last here and set off on this little expedition. So it's...
if someone, trader or otherwise, is going towards Fandalen, I want Agnes to write a letter with the basic outline of what's they've figured out and say, give this to Mayor's office.
All right. Well, when you get to the splits in the Tribor Trail, you stand around for a little while and manage to flag down a traveling tradesman who has a cart with what appears to be some more mining supplies, wood, picks, steel forged into grips to essentially help hold the pillars in place in the mines and such.
Anything interesting in it?
With a little bit of persuasion, he takes the letter and says he shall pass it on.
You give him 2 gold.
He says he will definitely make sure the letter reaches
Nice.
its intended destination.
Nice.
So you continue on your way, and you find the coastal road. You spend a few nights sort of camping, a day or so, and a night camping, and slowly making your way towards Neverwinter. And as you go, you notice there's quite a surge of people on the coast road. It's not like flooded, but you see a few people passing during the days, probably about a group an hour or something along that. So quite flowing. Trade caravans as always, but more sort of just people walking, making their way.
Things got busy.
And
yeah.
And so you spend another
When
night.
you say
in
when you say people walking, are they like families traveling?
Yeah, it seems to be some. It seems to be some families traveling, people just going, carrying backpacks or something along those lines.
Are they all going north?
Some of them are heading south, but the vast majority seem to be heading north. The traders seem to be heading north and south, but the people seem to be mostly heading north.
Guess it's because of those rumors of the war, eh?
They must be
yeah.
seeking asylum and escaping.
Make a perception check.
Anyone?
Who?
Just...
Agnes and Arsene.
Okay.
One sec, that's 15.
1915. You both notice that they are carrying stuff for travel and to protect themselves. However, they seem to be most of them seem to be in decent dress. They don't seem to be any worse for wear. They seem to just be tired from travel, but most of them appear to be in good spirits. They weren't really what you'd think of as asylum seekers.
Not even those who have heard rumors and are just getting out before anything starts.
Well, you don't know. They just don't seem like those who are fleeing.
Do you think there's a festival on or something in Neverwinter? Or somewhere up north?
Possibly. No, weren't there those murders happening in Neverwinter? No, I would have thought we would have scared people away a bit.
That was a while ago, though.
And I don't think they would have made it that public.
Agnes,
I don't know.
Agnes, Savangirl,
Yes.
Arsene. Straight intelligence checks.
Oh God. 7.
I'm
stupid, okay?
Both Savangirl and Arsene, something clicks in your mind when Cerno mentioned festival. You started to lose track of the days, but you realize it's probably reaching the Summer Lights Festival.
Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds like a fun thing.
That sounds crowded. Okay.
What is this? I've never heard of this.
No, Bor and Cerno haven't.
No.
I'm guessing it's just a general harvest sort of festival. Celebrate summer.
No, with your role, you actually know it's actually a celebration of a specific ancient event. It is stated to be the day. It also does mark the start of summer. However, it is stated to be the day when the long waging war between giants and dragons finally ceased, for they joined to fight a greater foe than each other, and succeeded. And that was essentially when the peace between dragonoids and giants happened. They still skirmish now, but it's not a full-fledged war. And because they weren't warring, humanoids were able to start actually developing cities because they weren't getting squashed by giant fire-breathing lizards and giant boulders hurled from the tops of mountains at said giant fire-breathing lizards.
Would Agnes have celebrated this before?
She may not have celebrated it before in her hometown, but it is a relatively well-known festival, especially for this continent.
I don't.
Well, it's likely to be busy in town.
It's going to be busy, so probably only Savangao, maybe Arsene would have celebrated this.
No chance.
Not celebrated, but Savangar's probably taken part in festivity. Arsene may have noticed them. Agnes probably knows of the holiday, but has not celebrated it.
Yeah, I've probably avoided them.
Okay, a better question about Agnes. Would it have been celebrated in her town, not will have she?
I would say probably not.
Okay.
Not like a formal celebration, big festival, but sort of maybe people would have held, people may have held sort of small celebrations in their own houses.
Family gatherings and
sort of thing, yeah.
Like Easter or something. Okay.
Yeah, like sort of get the family together, eat something. There was nothing formally put on by the governing body of your town.
There's likely to be a lot of people in Neverwinter. Well, also partying. But stay out of the way, shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, that sounds good.
This is
I want to buy
exciting.
some more arrows, though. Are you sure?
Pardon?
Oh, I was saying I wanted to get more arrows, but parties, joys, festivals, love them. They're great.
The shop could be open.
I'm sure it is. Maybe I'll camp outside for a bit. Or if we're just passing through Neverwinter, we'll just wait for you guys on the other side,
You have to go through Neverwinter to get over them.
Woo! Right, straight through it. Fast as
The
possible.
only place with bridges over that river.
Sweet.
While we're riding in the cart at some point on one of the days, I want to summon my little hawk, and I want to ask him if someone in Neverwinter may know what the pillar is or what the hell happened. If I could ask if there'd be someone there that may know.
You get the general sense of it that if you look hard enough, you may just find.
Bless you.
I ask if a dad may know.
It nods.
Peppy.
Dad may know. I already sent him a letter recently.
Is
He wouldn't be disappointed to hear from his son twice in a short while. I start
there no
writing.
talking in common?
That it just shrugs.
Oh.
Is there no talking in common?
Things are starting to make sense.
I don't know. What is language is Sano talking?
I'm talking to the creature. I'm talking to the actual spirit, so I'll leave that up to DM's discretion. Really.
You could be using Druidic, Sylvan, Common.
Which does the spirit speak? It understands whatever I'm saying?
It understands basically whatever you're saying, but it's your choice of what you're speaking to it in.
Screw it. I'll be switching between the languages, so you grab snippets.
So you understand 1 out of 3 phrases. Savangal, if paying attention, understands 2 out of 3.
Shut off now, are you?
Which parts do they get?
So, just enough to sort of figure out that you're pondering about the pillar.
Do we get the bit about Dad being worried about?
Right? Do I have any paper and ink?
Yeah, you still have some from when you acquired it during your break.
I should actually add that to my inventory.
You probably should.
How much?
I was
Oh,
going
you
to
probably
have to
got
go.
an inkwell and a bit and several sheets.
Okay.
Yes,
I
Ninja?
was going to have to go buy paper as well because he needs to write a letter to his man.
Paper, so several sheets, so I'll just go 3.
Did we hear the bit about? I'm sure my dad won't be too disappointed to hear from me again.
I'm
I
going
feel
to
like that'd be
say
in
that was in
Sylvan.
Druidic.
Oh,
Yeah.
The right, however, was in was in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
So basically, he sounds like a madman switching language.
Yeah, pretty much.
wait, Elvish and Sylvan are quite similar. So I'd recognise that you speak in something.
It would be a bit like how English has stolen words from French, or how things have like a Germanic base. They indeed have similarities in some of the words and the sort of syntax of how the language works. However, Elven is distinctly its own language from Sylvan. It's not like a dialect; it is distinctly its own language.
So like Agnes would be like,
you can probably figure out he's speaking Sylvan, but you would struggle to really comprehend much more.
I think he just said the word disappointment. Someone's disappointed in him. Yeah, I get that.
All right. So you continue towards Neverwinter, and another night spent resting. However, this time you sort of come across more of a public camp. There seems to be several people who've sort of set up, and as the night is beginning to fall, you do come across several people who've all sort of set up around a larger campfire just off the side of the road. I assume you take up your you set up tents nearby to them, or do you antisocially go further away?
I want to be
I'm
antisocial.
Set up near them.
I'm busy writing in the back of the cart, not paying attention so far.
If Agnes is in charge of where the cart's going, she would put close nearby.
I'm gonna go.
So you travel a little bit away from them, but you set them up still within seeing distance. So you set up your own tents. Another night passes before you all get back on the cart and join the flow of people towards Neverwinter. As you approach, you notice that the city appears to be covered in. Actually, I have to. Did I change your characters on this?
Yeah.
Hey, I did. I did change them.
Yay! Look
I have no control, but yeah.
The first city, ladies and gentlemen. The first city
right,
that
I forgot to give
everyone
you
would have
control.
seen. Look at this. Look at this.
It's where we all met. Our memories.
Ah,
Memories.
so sweet. So long ago.
Mhm.
Hang on. I'm gonna go back to writing my letter.
Oh, Arsene apparently isn't on here.
Yay! That's what noise.
I'll tell you why. It's because I didn't have time to change it over whilst when I got the updated version.
Ah, thank you.
Arsene. So let me just grab the small Arsene.
I see.
Where's the small Arsene?
I don't know.
Neither do I. You know what? I'll just copy it from a different page. Anyway,
Thank you.
whilst I do this, I shall attempt to multitask.
Okay. There. I need to buy arrows. I really need.
So, as you approach Neverwinter, you notice that the city does appear to be gearing up for a festival. Let's increase your size slightly.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yay!
Give you control.
Aw,
Right, you should all be able to control your own characters.
Thank you.
All right. So as you approach, you do notice that the city appears to be gearing up to. There are actually tents set up around the outside walls and along the main path in.
Ooh.
Not quite that far out. There are banners, sort of flags on strings, which I've bunting. That's what it's called. Bunting, colourful tents. Appears to be sort of games beginning to be set up, and what appears to be a sort of viewing area is also being set up. Like just sort of a large field is being sort of just roped off. A large just part of the grass is just being roped off, and there seems to be a table with some things sort of being set up on it. There are people bustling around, and things seem to be happening.
Great. Just, if possible, just slip past all of them and locate somewhere I can buy some more arrows. It'd be nice, unless it's nighttime.
It is somewhat late in the evening.
None of the shops are going to be open. Okay.
Well, not late in the. It's somewhat late afternoon, getting close to evening. You're under the impression that the festival may not have started yet, but it's gearing up to start. Probably either this evening or the next day.
Okay.
But there just seems to be a general air of festivities.
Would we or Agnes, because she spent a bit more time in it, know where any, I don't know what the equivalent of a police office house thing is.
Guard barracks?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be in the military district.
So there's like nowhere you could go. Okay.
Well, there are. I was going to say the vast concentration of them there is there. There are additional guards barracks stationed around the city, sort of as smaller stations. They would be stationed as sort of guards, as point of contact. But the vast majority of them are stationed in the military district. But you could probably find there are guards stationed on the gates. They are actually guarded gates. So entering the city, you'll be able to find some guards to talk. They're there. There's the gatehouse. There is a small sort of guard barracks stationed next to each of the gates. So you've got quite a choice.
Agnes would like to go up to one that isn't directly on the gate. Further into town, she wants to find someone.
All right. With a bit of time, you are able to come across a guardhouse, which essentially is there is an area to go in and file complaints. Is anyone with Agnes?
Yeah, I'm following her.
Yeah, well, I'll follow as well.
Is this with the horse and cart?
Yeah, I'll say we keep the horse and cart with us for now.
Well, good luck.
I don't think anyone else is going off to do anything, so.
I'm wandering off, but
Oh.
I've got arrows to buy, and then I am camping outside the other side of the city until you guys are done.
Okay.
Sorry.
Helga has gone back to being crazy cat and literally running all around the town.
Oh,
no.
for fuck's sake.
Some girl is struggling because there are a lot of people bustling around.
Entertain them.
Although she's
Maybe
probably
they'll give you
running
coin.
along the roofs now that I think about
it. Yep.
Play for them. They'll give you money.
it.
So I've just got Cerno and Boar.
It seems like you just got Sono and Boar, for our scene is buggering off.
No, I'm buying arrows first. As many arrows as I can buy, please. Please, I'm begging you. I only have 8 arrows left.
There's
Yes,
a
the
limit to
cat's
how many
doing-
you can carry.
I don't.
However,
many
actually,
to
I've seen roll an investigation check first. Agnes, you do come across this guard's barracks. There is a guard stationed outside. There is a door which is open. Seeing in, you can see that there's a essentially a clerk sat behind a desk with an odd chair for waiting, but no one else seems to be in there. Doors
Can I
leading
please help me?
It would be kind of difficult. It's quite busy, bustling streets.
I just assumed that was going to be a no, sorry.
18 is good enough. You managed to find a store which is actually still open. An adventurous store. You're greeted by a small halfling who ushers you in, but does give you fair warning that it's looking to close quite soon.
That's alright. I'm just hoping to buy some more arrows, please. What kind of arrows you got?
Well, we've got some crossbow bolts. We got just your standard arrows. We may have some sling bullets lying around out back.
Just some standard arrows would be great, please. What have you got? How many have you got?
Well, I've got about 100 here.
Can I carry 100?
You would be struggling. I think a quiver holds. I think it holds what, 30 or something.
I don't know how many it holds. I don't really even have a quiver to say how much it holds. It doesn't say under arrows.
Quiver can hold up to 20 arrows. I would assume you have a quiver.
Yeah, I definitely have a quiver. So I'd keep 20 in my quiver and I could hold, I guess, just like wrap them up safely in my backpack or something.
You would somewhat struggle to fit them in, to be brutally honest. You probably get another 20 in your backpack.
I mean, I held like 60 arrows before, but
I think you held about 30 arrows before.
I started off with 30, and then when we went to Neverwinter, I bought another 30. So I had about 40, maybe 50.
I'd say 40 would be pushing the maximum amount of arrows you could currently hold with your bag and quiver.
Guess I'm buying another 32 arrows then, please.
Are normal arrows bigger than crossbow arrows?
Crossbow bolts are smaller than bog standard arrows.
Oh, that explains why I have 60.
Yeah, 60 probably would be your maximum without any arcane carrying them. Well, yeah, I can sell them to you I can sell you 30. 32 is a bit of a weirdly specific number, I'm afraid.
That's all right. 30 will be fine then, please. Thank you.
15 silver pieces, please.
Thank you very much. Here you are then.
Thank you.
And
do
15
come back.
silver. Thank you. And quickly leave with my nice amount of arrows.
All right.
And we'll do anything.
Agnes? We can hear you
Hello.
typing, Comet.
I'm sorry. I'll mute the...
So I assume you go into the guard barrack and talk to the cleric.
Yes. Hello there.
Cleric?
Cleric.
Clerk.
Clerk.
There we go.
The holy person.
No, not a holy person, just someone paid to sit behind a desk.
They need a patience with a saint.
Yes, greetings.
Hi, I
help
was...
you today.
We have some information that would be of interest to the military. I was wondering who I should be speaking to about matters of the state.
What sort of matters are you talking about? Nation?
National, local. Whole villages going missing and being kidnapped for slavery.
I would say that's pretty important, isn't it? Well,
yeah.
I mean, you can talk to me, and I will definitely the chain of command. It will go to it will obviously be sent toward the military district from my superiors to discuss.
We have evidence. I don't know whether you would prefer us to give it to you or take it there ourselves. Maybe that.
Oh no, you can give it to us. We'd send information to certainly make sure it gets go, and they may not be best pleased with you wandering in there. Let me just pulls up some sheets of paper and the quill which he was using to write, so it dips in and goes. Okay, so what's you retaining it, and if we could actually have any of this evidence which you state you have.
Who had the letters? Wasn't it Cerno?
Just assume he gave them to you. Or is he with you?
Who investigated it?
I do have one of the. I have one of the letters. Arsene has the rest.
Do I?
Yeah, you had the
I
rest of
didn't
the
find
letters.
I
I
them.
thought
thought.
Cerno.
I didn't find any of them.
Cerno went up to the desk and investigated.
Do I have the rest of the
Yeah,
letters? Do I?
It
Yeah.
was Cerno and Arsene, not Arsene, Cerno and Agnes who
Agnes, and
investigated.
Agnes saw the money and didn't get a high enough investigation roll for anything else.
Okay, I'll give him. Well, I guess I have the note letters. I'll hand them over.
Thank you. Right.
We went to the tribal. We had been told it had been quiet. No one
Yes,
come into or from.
We've heard mentioning that the traders, the few traders we should be getting from them, haven't made it here. We hadn't got around to dispatching anyone.
Yeah, the town's empty.
Empty.
Everyone's gone. They had been taken across the river, further northwest.
And he's just sort of. You hear the scratching of the quill as he's writing it down. All right.
Northwest, taken to a cave, treated like slaves with some deaf dogs. Though those dogs are now dead and the people inside are now dead.
Sorry,
That's something.
what they're called.
Death dogs? Oh no, they wouldn't be. Fresh. Some two-headed dogs.
Okay, two-headed beasts. Right.
The cave is now empty. Well, the mine. It's in the mining area.
The letters, thank you, young boy, and takes them from you and is looking through them. He appears somewhat tired. You assume it probably is near the end of his. Okay, well, that does seem to collaborate some of what you are saying. Right.
These are just what we found in the mine.
We may have to talk to Mapletide about that one. Well, I believe we have to talk to them soon. Anyway, okay.
The information is better in your hands than ours.
Well,
Oh God!
Purple, I'm so happy with you right now.
Holy crap!
It's working, my dad.
Oh,
Purple!
Yes!
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen!
God, that.
How did the cat get into the military district?
I do appreciate that he didn't get into the rich bricks district.
Wait, get out of it! Get the water! Throw it at the cat!
So happy!
Get the giant squeezy bottle! Get the giant squeezy bottle!
I was wondering. I was like, Southern Girl's sat still. She usually is running all over the place for this.
Oh my Lord, I can't believe it.
How many did you make?
Anyway.
Where does it end?
Where does it stop?
She's so proud of herself.
I don't know where it ends. I can't see the end.
I don't know either.
Dear Lord.
Anyway.
Anyway. Ended about 115.8 miles right next to you guys.
Ooh, that's quite the workout.
Oh. Jeez Louise.
I'm just gonna rule after all that running, Savangal has a point of exhaustion. You'd be close to pushing 2, to be perfectly honest. In fact, you can't really run 115 miles, by the way. Considering it takes you about a day to travel 30.
Oh my God, I love all of this.
It was fun though. Look at her go! You.
You're going.
No.
By the way, she doesn't get
not
into
even-
the rich prick district with that small bit. She is barred.
So
from
she does
entry.
get in
Yeah,
the
no.
military?
Yeah, she she can get in there. They're not best pleased, but she can get in there. The rich prick district is literally a gated community in effect.
Oh, that was brilliant. Thank you.
So anyway, yes. Well, we will make sure this gets to the right people. We'll have the talks. We'll launch an investigation. Thank you for your service. For this, and he sort of looks back, pulls a sack, and just tosses it to you. 10 gold for the, as stated,
Oh.
for any information on the whereabouts of them.
Oh. No.
Oh, thank God it's done.
Is there anything else that the guard can help you with?
No, I'm just racking my brains for any more information that may be useful. I think that is it.
Well, the guard thanks you, and so does the rest of Neverwinter, and I'm sure Tribor will when we fight.
Thank you very much.
Folds the letter up, gets the letters you have, kind of puts them in a leather binding, wraps it up, and puts it into a tray. I will make sure that gets to the appropriate authorities.
Come on, little boy.
Oh, dear God, sir, sorry, Sorry, it's been so long. I've been on here for about 12 hours straight.
Oh.
Sorry, sir, please forgive me. I didn't realize you were a halfling.
It's fine. It's fine. He looks
Although
up
you
at,
do appear
he
to
looks
be
up at
quite
Agnes
young.
and gives a little pouty face, like, "Why'd you do that? Were you going to let
She
me
has a
alone?"
massive grin on her face.
Or
Aw.
smiling as well.
Oh, Jesus, a bugbear.
Oh,
Ugh,
Oh, also, I'm really sorry about the cat.
Sure.
You'll know. Bye.
Bye.
boy gives a
Wave.
wave and then walks out.
Sono waves as well, sort of.
Is it in unison? With
Yeah.
four?
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, it is getting relatively late.
We should probably find a tavern to stay,
To our favorite inn.
if they have room.
If
Yes.
they have room.
Arsene wasn't staying with us, though. Did she go
Yep.
away?
No.
Normally, I wouldn't mind putting up with a tavern, but considering there's a festival going on, it's not happening. Sorry, it's too busy in the city for me.
A firefight will happen and boy will be a part of it.
Well, Arsene, I assume you try and push your way through to the other side of the city.
Should
Yes,
someone go
please.
check on Arsene?
I'm okay.
Probably not a good
No,
idea
Yeah,
to split
boy.
the party.
I'm okay.
Boy's gonna go look for his little buddy. His other little buddy.
We know where she'll be. She's at the outside of the town.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm
still.
gonna
Well,
pop back
okay
in.
then. If you guys say so.
I'm sure they'll be able to look
What's
after
the time
themselves.
in the place right now?
You're probably pushing about 6, 7.
Oh, there is something
alright.
I'd like
We
to
should.
the next morning. If
Hmm?
possible.
Would there be any
Can I,
places to send a letter?
Probably none that are open now.
Alright.
Hmm.
And
Um,
question.
They'll be open come tomorrow.
Question. Do you want me to actually send you the full letter I wrote in the time where everything else was happening, or do you just want me to send a description of what happened, what I say?
Yeah, just send the full letter. Although next time, maybe wait until the session's ended to write out your entire obituary.
Well, here, I will send you a letter as don't worry.
There you
Certainly.
go. I already typed it out.
Thank you, too kind.
What was our scene after?
Oh, I was hoping sort of early hours of the morning when the shops are opening to see if I could.
Early hours, shops opening.
Well, whenever, because it's going to be less busy the earlier it is when the shops are open than it is sort of midday afternoon time. You know?
Alright, so
Yeah.
Arsene sets up camp outside the city walls.
Yeah.
To the north west.
Yeah.
Sono Savangal, Arsene, and
Agnes and Boy, you
I mean
mean?
Agnes and Boar. Sorry, your names are piled on top of each other, and my brain had a blank. You make your way towards the inn which you have stayed in before. You push open the door to find that it seems to be somewhat full with patrons. It seems to be somewhat full, not overflowing, but there's substantially more than you recall last time. The bartender does, however, in fact, recognize you. You, in particular, Agnes. And the dwarf sort of chuckles and goes, "Ah, I see you come back."
We have indeed. Any spare rooms? I know it's late in the day.
I think we've got 2 spare, if that can handle you.
That will do.
Okay.
All right. Well, you know the price.
How much is it?
Yes.
5 silver pieces
yes.
per room.
5
So,
silver pieces.
a gold piece, and I'll have your meal starting for you.
Agnes gives him the gold.
Oh.
Thanks for paying.
Yep.
Thank you, lass. Always good
Welcome.
to see a familiar face.
Nice to have a familiar place to come back to.
I'm sure, and you come back at the best time.
Yes. Much happening or to be expected?
Oh, gonna be brilliant tomorrow, I hear.
Oh, what is happening?
The festival. It starts.
I will be honest. It is not celebrated where I come from.
Oh,
Well,
you miss out, lass.
not that much.
I think
It
I love
seems
this
to
one.
draw a lot of
Great.
people.
My favorite in PC.
Games, celebrations, drink, and even a show come the evening.
A show? What type
Put
of show?
on by the mages.
Ooh, fancy.
Indeed.
So lots of magic?
Bits.
It'll be a magical evening.
He gives
Bits.
Boar a little high five for that.
Yes.
Anyway, try and find a table. We'll get your food to you. Can I get you any drinks?
Yes, please.
All right.
One of the normal, which was this.
Well, it is.
I'll have one
Yes.
as well.
4 copper pieces per month.
I'll take one as well. I don't know what's going on, but
Agnes is not paying for your drinks.
oh yeah,
I've
okay.
paid
I
fine.
totally knock off 4 copper pieces because
All
I
right.
have 1,000 and 100.
All right. All right.
Please.
Hi, Catelyn, get the drinks. And this sort of half-elven woman nods, wearing a sort of apron and barmaid outfit, starts pouring the several mugs of ale, hands it to you guys before rushing off to serve another customer who's who's sort of just shouting out. She appears to be rushing around.
As soon as she puts the drink down, he goes, "Thank you," but she's already gone and goes.
Yeah, she's just gone straight off serving others.
And that's what happens when I try to speak to people. Okay then.
Maybe you can learn.
You try to speak to people who are busy. They're gonna be busy.
Well, I was just trying to say thank you.
Mm-hmm. And she probably appreciates it. She's just busy.
She didn't hear it. Probably. I mean,
she knows it.
She does.
There's a small there's 2 bards just playing some music in the corner. You got both of them playing stringed instruments, and it's quite a nice atmosphere. There's a bit of it's kind of loud, bit of camaraderie. The music sort of just a gentle undertone, but it seems to be in quite good spirits. People seem to be enjoying themselves. Your food is eventually served to you. You an assortment of some meats and some breads. 2 meals are included.
In the
2 meals are included with the payment of a room.
Oh, wow, okay, easy.
Is there any group of people or few individuals who like very merry and laughy and chatty?
There seems to be a few groups. Some sat at the bar, sort of roaring in laughter. 1 or 2 sort of tables Others are sort of being a bit more
Is that-
quiet, drinking, but still talking.
Is there a merry group that's not like big and scary?
Most of them appear to be travelers, somewhat. You have to be not quite peasant level, slightly above peasants to be able to travel to Neverwinter to join in. Sort of you assume that people are sort of coming from Leylon, and probably some people from Darlin have come here as well, considering that it's sort of a big festival being put on. But
Cerno, why don't you go talk to them? They would probably talk back to you. They're not very busy, and they look friendly.
Hello?
Comet.
Oh.
Cerno.
Didn't he pop away?
Oh, he said BRB.
Oh, for
Right.
fudge's sake.
We're just going to assume that Sano is too busy drinking and eating. So you guys serve the sort of meats, such. Is there anything which you guys do other than try and get Sano to converse, bore Savangal?
Savangal joins in with the people playing on stage.
The two bards seem somewhat surprised, but realizing your skill, quickly actually start to sort of follow you. Roll a performance check. And you managed to play quite several good pieces, and they seem to be sort of coping somewhat, adding more layering, keeping melodies and harmonies going, and people at the tavern seem to be getting quite well into it. And you get flicked a few coins. You make about 5 gold, 7 silver.
She
Not
gives
bad.
2 of the gold to the other guys because they started it first.
They graciously accept and go back to sort of playing their own music upon you leaving, thanking you and saying that they would be happy to play with you again.
Oh,
Savangal
that's
just
nice.
purrs.
That's adorable.
One looks slightly put out that you are actually just a giant walking cat, but still. Manners.
Well, they didn't notice.
The big old kitty looks really good at the bagpipe. Great.
Savangal can actually play more than one musical instrument, I will point out.
No,
Just
but she's
bagpipes are
especially good at the bagpipe.
She's good at all of them, but all right.
Especially good at
Seems like Cerno's back.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, Cerno, you see that group of merry people? Why don't you go talk to them instead? They'll talk back to you, and they seem friendly.
Social. I've had an.
You were just
I've
sad that
already had
someone
enough
didn't talk
failure
back
for
to
today.
you.
Okay.
I'm sure that won't fail.
Okay.
Buy them a drink, and they'll be very happy with you.
Oh,
I hand him.
that's.
It's 4 copper per drink.
Don't worry, boy. I got it. And he takes a bit. He takes like a of his thing. slams it in.
Liquid courage.
All right.
Okay. Wish me luck.
I give him like a big old thumbs up. Like you
And
got
he's walking with his chest puffed out. He's like, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this.
Well,
and he nearly goes to
approach-
turn on his heel and goes, I can do this. And he keeps walking.
Well, you eventually approach the bar where there is several gents and a lady all sort of sat on bar stools. Most of them seem to be human or half elven in race. They're not very scary looking. They aren't like massively built. They look like they may do more sort of maybe bakers or something along the lines, which makes all right money. Able to sort of leave their job for maybe a day or two.
I look behind me back to everyone at my table. What are they doing?
I'm giving you the biggest thumbs up, like you got this.
I'm just slowly sipping my drink and smiling and give you a nod.
Have they noticed me yet?
Well, you're kind of small and you stood near them, but you haven't made yourself known.
Okay, this is out of character. I genuinely don't know what to do. I'm genuinely like, what the hell do I do here?
Agnes told you to buy them a drink.
But how? How do I join in on that conversation there and go, hi, I'd buy them a
One
drink?
of them just turns and goes, oh, hey there, little one.
Even the DM's helping you now.
You're right there. You're looking a bit lost.
Where's my mom?
Don't do that. That's the worst.
He sort of leans down and looks at you. You haven't been drinking, have you?
I cast minor illusion and the sound of "Can I buy you a drink?" sounding exactly like Cerno comes out from him.
Whoa! I didn't know you were a ventriloquist.
I look back at them. I look back at Agnes and go, and my eyes are just screaming, going, "Help me!"
Still giving you the biggest thumbs up.
I mean,
Right, Agnes, you're doing the talking for
if
that.
you're offering, we wouldn't say no, would we, guys?
You're making friends.
Agnes gives him another nod.
Yeah, I'll buy you all a
There's a
drink.
small fire burning in Cerno's eyes.
Yeah.
Agnes is loving every second.
Okay, so I look up at them, smile with my hand on the back of my head, sort of itching, going, of course, I'll buy you a drink. And I look back at Agnes, and there's just pure fire.
So
She's smiling.
The bar stool somewhat towards you, and then sort of looks down and goes, "You're all right getting up on that?"
Am I okay?
You sort of pull yourself up, sit on it, and your head is now about shoulder height for them.
A round of drinks for all of these people, please.
The entire tavern just looks towards you.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
All of them these days.
Yeah?
You see, everyone's just sort of leaning in at this point.
Are we sure Cerno has
How
the
many
money for
people
this?
are in here?
You're looking about 30.
30 by 5, that's like,
30
it's 30
by
by 4.
4.
It's 30 by 4, actually.
You're looking at 120 copper. You're looking at
Boy
a gold and 2
comes
silver
up.
pieces.
Slams the copper on his head and says, "Drinks for everyone."
You're not next to
What?
him.
Fine.
I go, yeah, sure. Drinks for everyone?
There was a
Agnes spits
tremendous
out her drink.
roar of everyone going, yeah! Like, drinks for everyone it is! And the door sort of leans over the bar slightly. He goes, I'll be 120 copper, mate.
Okay. How much is that in my coins and stuff?
Gold and 10 silvers? Was it?
It would be 12 silver.
12 silvers, sorry. My math is
Okay.
crushed.
Let's do some quick math.
Or
Agnes has spat out her
a
drink
gold
and is
and 2
like,
silver.
Agnes has spat out her
You have
drink
like
and is like,
605 copper pieces.
current.
Okay.
Wait, what's up?
Come on, you have 605 copper pieces. You could have easily taken 120 from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love my band of adventure.
Agnes is currently.
I can feel the displeasure from Sub.
Alright, well, everyone sort of now gets up and makes their way to their bar as they expectantly wait for the barmaid sort of flashes you a look of, oh god, before she starts just doing mug after mug, along with the barkeep who's sort of laughing and merrily handing them out to people.
Agnes is wetting herself, by the way, like struggling to stay sat on the bar stool or whatever. She's just finding this hilarious.
I'm so glad I missed this. It's been so uncomfortable for me.
Even the two band members sort of stop playing, come up, get their drinks, nod appreciation towards you, drink, and then go back to playing.
I'm now sitting there completely frozen.
Made friends.
A drink for me, please.
Too kind, mate. And then they sort of just go back to drinking and talking.
Drink for me, please.
Ours included. He sort of just gives it to the dwarf. Gives it to you.
I nod at him. Thank you. And I'm not.
So
coming
let's
up
make
for
a Constitution saving throw. Why don't we?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
Slip some vodka
Constitution
into his drink.
saving.
Fire whiskey.
First. Hey, it's like real life.
You're leaning back, and you don't realize that the bar stool's beginning to tip, and all of a sudden you just find yourself flat on the floor, head kind of hurting and feeling kind of dizzy and going, There's some laughter, and one of the humans sort of pull you to your feet and sort of just sits you back on the bar stool before going back to his own conversation.
I can't force burp, but I
I'm
burp.
enjoying this so much.
I'd burp if I could force burp, but imagine me.
I mean, I can do it for you if you really want.
No.
Do it.
No, I won't. They said no.
Oh.
Thank you.
So, what's everyone else doing?
Agnes is still laughing, massive grin on her face, finding the whole situation hilarious.
Boy gets up and gets his drink.
Oh yeah, Agnes has got her drink.
All right. And Southern Girl received her drink as well.
Yep.
You all have your second drink. You're beginning to feel, the slight effects of the alcohol at this point, but nothing too much.
A lightweight. He's feeling it.
You also downed it.
Yeah.
Which is the smartest thing to do.
The evening slowly draws on, and you guys begin to make your way to bed. Arcene, very happily outside on her own.
Yep.
You can sort of hear the sounds of people sort of semi-celebrating already. Some people are already sort of getting into the mood, although the festival hasn't officially started. But, well, we can come to that tomorrow. Come to that next week, I guess.
Again.
Hey, awesome.
No, it's already 6 o'clock though. Huh.
Well, we've been going for about over two and a half hours.
Almost 3.
It's 7 o'clock for you, Ninja.
It's almost.
Mm-hmm.
I like how Jam, who's not in your time zone, knows your time better than.
I mean, it's 6:48. It's almost.
He confuses me because he uses UK
switch,
time zone sometimes, and then he'll use his, and I'm so.
This is what is going on.
But anyway, yes. So, I did have plans to be able to do the festival now, but alas, my ability to predict how long it takes you guys to do things is still terrible. So I apparently overplanned yet again.
Yeah, we're slow.
Mess around too much. Sorry.
However, come next week, we can take part in the Summer Lights Festival.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or in Arcene's case, totally ignore it.
Sweet.
And people aren't sick.
And no one's going to be bothering me because you guys are going to be at the festival. It's just a quiet
I don't know. Agnes may drag you
the shops are not going to be open.
But tomorrow?
There'll be stalls open, won't there?
There'll be stalls sort of selling like treats and that sort of thing, but the main stores are not open.
I should have done this today then.
They were closed.
I wanted to find an arcane shop and see if they were selling any cool bows now that I have money to buy cool stuff.
You got here quite late in the evening.
I know.
To find it.
I know.
You're gonna have to put up with the day of the festivals.
Mm.
And Agnes is so gonna drag you
Don't
around.
let me
I'm
forget.
gonna
Like the
say,
normal mother
I'm
would.
gonna say what Agnes and the others, everyone but Arsene, essentially can figure out from just holding a bit of small talk and paying attention to what others are talking about. The main sort of festival starts tomorrow, and that's when most of the organized events are. But then the festival kind of continues for about a week.
Did Boar hear anything about a fighting event?
Indeed, he did.
Yes. Okay.
Did Cerno hear
I'd
anything
like to
about a
s-
petting zoo?
No petting zoo.
Oh.
Oh, mine. I don't know if this is obvious, but because of Agnes's background, it only takes a few minutes, and she can read anyone as if they're a book. So she'd be able to find out everything with like just looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh, this is what's happening this time, and it's over there, and this is happening.
So, yes, you learn that there is going to be fighting. There's a sort of pit fight sort of stage to prove your might to Cord. There are other sort of like events and games which are being set up sort of over the outside the town. There is going to be a sort of a display put on come the evening, and then that's when sort of most of the organized festivities pack down, but the festival continues for a couple more days. Normally people sort of celebrating it themselves, spending time with friends, family. It's a celebration of sort of like strength and also being together. But
Agnes would have found out about a magic show or whatever the thing
learned
was.
that there's going to be some sort of display being done by the wizards, that they generally mix it up each year.
Sounds
and
exciting.
are kind of secretive about it, but it's going to take place in the field which got essentially roped off outside Neverwinter. And that's all you guys learned, and you guys can explore it come next week.
All right then. So thank you everyone for tuning into this episode of Dummies and Dice. We're happy to have you, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.